Dude, that every single week that music gets me pumped up, bro. Does it not pump you up?
No.
Get ready for another amazing week of Ask DLF?
I don't need music to pump me up.
Oh, you're one of those.
That internal motivation.
Okay. All right. I get it. I will say, though, that I think since I've now become a regular for what's been like 3 months now, I think we should update the video. I think I need to be a part of it.
I don't want to say that, but I think the video should have more Addison in it.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you.
So, what's up, everybody? Welcome into Ask DLF. Obviously, Cal not here. I am in the driver's seat for the time being. Cal will be here, though. He said that his wife had a very important function that they could not get away from, but he said he'll be hopefully 15, 20 minutes late. So for right now, it's just you and me, Ty. So
I know.
Yeah.
I was about to say just like old times, but not really.
we had our moment in the spotlight where it was just you.
We did, yeah.
So now we're just back at it until Cal rejoins us. So I think we can just get right into it since last week we got pretty far behind. And went for like 3 hours. Jeez. But y'all are amazing.
We used to go for 4 hours every week.
Nope, can't do that anymore. I'm not into it. I don't know how y'all did it. Yeah, no, this is all because of you guys, the amazing YouTube chat. If you're not on YouTube, that's where we pull our questions from. We do pull from Facebook, but nobody really watches on Facebook. So if you're watching on Twitter, jump over to YouTube because for some reason StreamYard and Twitter, they don't like each other and we can't see your comments or questions. So jump over to the YouTube chat, best fantasy chat in existence. And we're just going to start answering off these questions. First up from David. This was from 3 hours ago. Asked us in a 12-team Superflex PPR, Justin Fields or Kenny Pickett?
I feel like I've heard this question before.
It's still Justin Fields, right?
Unfortunately. Yeah, Justin Fields. I was told on Twitter that Justin Fields had a 0% chance of being replaced as the Bears starting quarterback. And I told that person that, this is why it's great. We have free speech in this country. You can say whatever you want. It's not true, but you can say it. I don't care.
Were you told that today or this week?
Today. Yeah.
Today. Okay. I could understand if it was like you got told that in like June, but like today?
Well, I would have pushed back on it in June too.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, I compared him. I mean, the people saw what I said. I compared him this week. I thought it was fair. I thought it was a fair comparison. I compared him to Nathan Peterman as a thrower. That's what I saw. That's what he looked like. And honestly, I thought someone had a great response to that. They said that Nathan Peterman was better as a passer. That's what they said. They thought that Nathan Peterman actually was a more competent thrower of the football. And I don't know. Might be true. Looks terrible. Terrible.
If Kenny Pickett comes out, maybe he's a starter next week and comes out and throws like 201. Does that move it over Fields for you?
That's 3 games worth of Justin Fields, isn't it?
Well, that he had the one game where he threw 2 touchdowns, but yeah, basically.
Yeah, no, Justin Fields for the season has 297 passing yards.
Yeah. Every single week that Fields does horribly and Pickett doesn't do anything because he's on the bench is just one more week where this question gets closer and closer.
I know.
So, yeah. Are you taking Justin Fields over Zach Wilson?
Yes, because Zach Wilson is horrible.
Okay, I was seeing how far the Fields.
Zach Wilson is horrible and doesn't run.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Lounging Bear, 10-team Superflex rebuild with some mid-career producers keeping him in the middle of the standings. He traded Kirk in a random 24 first for Garrett Wilson. What are your thoughts?
I'll take Garrett Wilson. Although in a rebuild, this is kind of a weird trade to do, but I'll still take Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I agree. I like Christian Kirk.
I do too. A lot, actually.
Yeah. He's actually he's in my video tomorrow. So
were you late to the Christian Kirk party or did you get there early with me?
I'll say I was late because this whole entire offseason, I was
very early.
I was never against him this whole offseason. I was just kind of like, I I didn't have feelings. I was just meh.
You didn't have.
Not towards Kirk.
Oh.
Didn't have positive or negative feelings. He just existed. But now I've jumped on board. So we're here. We're here.
Yeah.
Do you have that super chat?
I'll grab it.
Nice.
Grade the trade, and I appreciate the super chat, Frank.
Yes, thank you, Frank.
Give 23 first, James Robinson and Bateman. Get Higgins 23 second and Tua in a 1 QB. Well, in that case, I feel like in a 1 QB, James Robinson is worth more than a 23 second and probably Tua combined. And then 23 first and Bateman for Higgins. I mean, probably still the Higgins side, but not happy about it.
I like the Higgins side. If that is mid, it'd be even better if it was late. But that slides early. That's not going to be as fun. I like selling off of Bateman to get to T. Higgins.
Me too.
I like selling off of James Robinson on what he's doing now. I don't know if a second is the right way to go about it. I feel like you can do a little bit better. But I don't mind selling off of it. Overall, I give it like a B.
A B is not bad.
Yeah, I feel all right with it. I think you got the winning side. And I like it overall. Hopefully you have more 23 first, though. I don't know if that's what this is necessarily what I would have done if I had 1 first. But if I have 2 or 3 to work with, I'm going to get T. Higgins.
Can we skip to this last comment?
Oh, no. Drag me kicking and screaming to the Christian Kirk party, and they're actually playing some good music and the beer is free.
I thought it was worth it.
Oh,
I thought it was worth it.
Yeah, I love
to skip to that one. Yeah, well, you know, that's what you get if you sign up for my Patreon. I will drag you kicking and screaming to players you don't want to buy into. Although, yeah, you would have had a lot of Kyler Murray, unfortunately. But you also would have had a lot of Garrett Wilson. So, you know, everyone has their hits and their misses. But yeah, you'd have a lot of Christian Kirk, a lot of Garrett Wilson, good amount of Drake London. Yeah. You'd have a lot of Trevor Lawrence. So that would be
I was going to say, is the Christian Kirk love in part because of your Trevor Lawrence love?
No, they weren't related. I mean, I guess they were tangentially, but they weren't really related, I would say. No.
Interesting. I don't think I ever heard you mention Christian Kirk so much in the offseason, but maybe
he never really came up, funnily enough. He was always high in my rankings comparatively, but he wasn't someone that people had a lot of questions about. So, yeah, but he definitely was mentioned quite a bit.
Maybe I would have joined Lefty here, and I would have joined y'all in the
maybe
party.
You would have had to do that,
and I would have enjoyed the party. I do have him in one league, and it's very fun. Yeah. It's very glorious.
We gotta get you out to party more. You gotta come up to New York.
We don't need to do that, but that's all right. Jake, 12-team Superflex, PPR start 8, 2:23 seconds or Devonta Smith.
That's not good enough. I'll take Devonta Smith.
Yeah. I'm assuming the way it's phrased, it sounds like you're sending the 2 seconds, which I would love.
Yeah, I'll take Smith.
Yeah, Devonta Smith.
Either way,
sure.
It doesn't matter.
He also asks, moved Dylan last week. Dylan 23 second and a 23 third for DK and a 23 first.
What kind of a league is this? I don't understand that one.
I will say though, if you traded AJ Dillon, this is even better.
Yeah,
because I don't know who AJ Dillon is, but AJ Dillon, I still take this trade.
Bruh.
No, this is awesome. You would trade Dylan for a first, right?
Yes. Okay. And also, if you're in the DLF Discord, I put the link to the show in the Discord. I use the here function to get your attention.
At here.
Yeah. I last time I did at everyone and they got mad at me.
Uh-oh. Do you have a link to that Discord that you can throw into the chat?
I don't know if I have can I just send the invite link?
I'm not a Discord guy.
I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work, but I just did it.
Give it a shot.
You give it a try. I haven't tested it. I mean, it claims that this is the invite link.
Give it a shot.
Someone try clicking on that and let me know if it actually lets you join the Discord. It's great. I mean, honestly, I'm not really active in there. I just don't. I drown in my. I have too many. There's plenty of people from DLF who can answer those questions. I drown in my own Twitter and my Patreon Discord. There's just no way. I don't even get to all of my own questions, let alone more questions. But there's plenty of people who are active in there.
Ever since joining that Discord, there's
Patrick claims that it works. So
nice.
Let's see.
Oh, ever since joining that Patrick. Discord, it's I think my phone battery life has suffered greatly.
Yeah,
I
don't
get notifications. There's so many people in there. It's so active.
I have the notifications for all of Discord off. I don't want notifications.
I should probably do that. But I like being in there and seeing what people have to say.
There's so many people in there though.
Lounging Bear, in your opinion, will ETN ascend to fantasy RB1 eventually, or is he destined for a career of committees?
He's destined for a career of committees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you still in on ETN?
No? I still am. My panic meter has risen.
Scale of 1 to 10. Give it a 1 to 10. Give the people something better than that.
What did I say last week? Did I say 3?
I don't remember what you said last week.
I think I said 3 last week.
Last week I said 7 or 8.
I'm at a 6.5 right now.
Yeah, I'm at a 10. 10 panic. It's not
to be fair though, saying that you're destined to a committee isn't horrible, because I feel like the NFL as a whole is moving towards committees. Like 90% of backs right now in fantasy are in some sort of a committee.
Sure.
It's just the magnitude of the committee.
How far away are you from taking James Robinson over ETN straight up?
In Dynasty?
Yeah.
Still relatively far.
I'm not.
Are you James Robinson over ETN?
Let's give it a couple more weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
Both of my co-hosts yesterday and also Hutch all said that I believe that they would take Robinson. I was the only one. Now, I think I play the most Dynasty out of the 4 of us. Or a lot of them focus more on redraft during the season than I do. And obviously in redraft, I would prefer Robinson by a lot. And I was ahead of the curve this week. I ranked Robinson very high in start sit. I had him at 20. And I think the consensus was around 26. So I was confident in his role in week 3, and he delivered with a big touchdown. A lot of people who were asking me Robinson or another player, and I went with Robinson, they might have won their matchups because of that. But in terms of Dynasty, I still think that ETN is eventually going to get a little bit more of a role, but it's not looking good.
September ADP had ETN at RB 11 and Robinson at RB 51.
Yeah, well, that was always ridiculous. I never had Robinson that low.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it now, and I'm trying to figure out how far apart they would actually be. ETN's definitely fallen.
You want to know where I have them?
Climbed up
I can
significantly.
Just tell you.
I'd probably have Robinson inside my top 25, and ETN would be probably still inside my top 20, but that gives you they're about 6 or 7 RB spots away.
I have ETN at 18 and Robinson at 22.
That probably sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, you're taking James Robinson over David Montgomery, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dameon Pierce?
No, I'll take Dameon Pierce. I actually like... Who? Ramondre?
Yeah.
I don't want Ramondre.
Josh Jacobs.
Oh, no.
Gibson.
1 more week. I said this on my show. 1 more week. This is it. 1 more week until bye-bye, Antonio Gibson. I've been waiting for this moment. You know how much I've been waiting for this moment? I begged people. I begged them. I begged them for years. I begged them. Antonio Gibson is not Christian McCaffrey. I begged them. And I was told, no, he's going to be Christian McCaffrey. And now it's 1 more week until bye-bye. I love it. Right, Robinson is a starter. We all know it. I mean, did you hear Antonio Gibson when he was talking about Brian Robinson coming back? Did you hear the tone of his voice? You know what it reminded me of? I said this yesterday. Reminded me of Marlon Mack's tone when he saw Jonathan Taylor on the practice field. He knows it's over. He was nice about it. He was like, yeah, Brian is going to come back, blah, blah, blah. He knows it's over. He knows the second Brian Robinson comes back, it's over. And he's the backup, and it's finished.
Well, there you go.
1 more week. This is literally like the most exciting thing for me. You have no idea.
Well, I'm hoping this. I'm trying to see your excitement for this as well too, because Dustin asked, in relation to my waiver wire video that dropped today. In the video, I said Sam Howell is a must add if he's still on waiver wires.
Why is he on waiver wires?
Well, that's why I said he's a must add. But he's asking, can I clarify why Sam Howell is a must have? But I feel like you already know the answer why Sam Howell is a must add.
Oh, I do, because Carson Wentz sucks.
Did you watch the Eagles Commanders game?
Luckily, I watched very little of it.
It was actually good whenever Philly was on. I enjoyed that part of the game.
That was the good part. Yeah.
Yeah, Dustin, that's mainly the big reason is Sam Howell already was a player that I don't believe should be on your waiver wires. And that's why like he was highly rostered. He was like a 95% rostership player in the 1700 leagues that I'm pulling from. So that's why I had him in as just a double check. If he is on waivers, like immediately add him because Wentz looked horrible. I think Sam Howell's better than Taylor Heineke right now too. And I think that just from the preseason that Sam Howell had, that he could be in the mix with Malik Willis and Desmond Ridder in terms of rookie quarterbacks this year that see the field at some point in November or December. And I think Howell is like what Wentz has already done for fantasy the first 2 weeks. I think Howell can do exactly that, if not maybe better, by not throwing picks.
I don't know about that.
But I think Howell's good. So he was my QB1 in the class, but that's why. So yeah. GG 12 team Superflex start 11 in a vacuum. Would you take Breece Hall or Jalen Waddle?
Waddle.
Agreed.
It's always been Waddle.
Easy. Jalen Waddle. Order 66. I almost said that in a Palpatine voice, which I don't know if that would have been good or bad. But do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what
Do
Order
I look
66
like I
is?
know what you're talking about?
That's so sad. He's asking trade Kyler Murray for Mark Andrews and Malik Willis in a Superflex PPR, one tight end premium. I'm assuming that's an additional one tight end premium.
Here we are.
Other QBs are Lamar and Hurts.
Here we are, you know. Kyler Murray, not good. I don't know, man.
If this is a, but I'm assuming by what he's saying by one tight end premium, this is actually like two.
Yeah, it's one for everyone else and two for tight ends.
That is a massive bump for Mark Andrews, dude.
I know.
I think I would do this. If your other quarterbacks are Lamar and Hurts, you're already not playing Kyler Murray. I wish Malik Willis was a quarterback that I actually believed had some sort of longevity.
But if Malik Willis ever gets in, he's going to be fantasy gold.
Until the Titans have the 103, and then
I know, but he'll be fantasy gold when he's in.
Sure, like even if it was like Jared Goff or somebody like that, I'd feel better about it. But like
that doesn't change it.
I think I do this, dude. I think I take Mark Andrews.
I think I would too. 2 tight end premiums a lot.
That's such a huge bump. Like Andrews had like 40 fantasy points in this format last week.
Yeah, probably.
Like that's massive. Yeah. I'm taking Andrews. West Coast Chiefer, I have another team's 23 first, and they want it back so they can tank. They're 0-6 so far. One other team is also winless, so they're competing for the 101, but you have the 101 and the 102. The managers offered Dak for their first back and either Winston or Matt Ryan.
Wow.
That is a hefty price to pay for the 101, 102.
Yeah, I'll as crazy as this is, I'll hang on to it.
They're only going to get more and more desperate.
It's only going to be worse if they give Dak up. They're only going to be even worse.
Right. That probably is what separates them from the other team.
I want more.
Would you do it without Winston or Matt Ryan attached, or does that not matter?
That barely matters. But
okay,
that would help.
What the Dak in a second?
All right, fine. You can have it back.
Okay. I was trying to see how far you would go, or what West Coast Chiefer needs to counter with. But I agree with you. I think he's only going to get more and more desperate as the year goes on.
Yeah. This is Ed's Ed's idea. You know, it's funny actually. Whenever Ed has ideas, I always wonder where those ideas came from.
He's smart.
I know. He spends a lot of time talking to someone we know.
Ed is smart. TJ King 96, 12 team, 2 QB. Would you take 2 fourths for Pacheco and also DJ Moore or a 23 second in the same format?
I mean, I'm not going to take 2 fourths for Pacheco. That doesn't really do anything for me.
Would you take a third?
I guess so. And then this last one, I'll take DJ Moore over 23 second. I actually said that on Twitter.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Where are you at with DJ Moore and a 23 first?
Oh, I'll take 23 first.
24 first.
And super flex, I guess.
That's the line.
Yeah, I still think that's not good enough.
Okay. But yeah, definitely a second. And I'd hold on to Pacheco. There you go.
DJ Moore, I get it. Like, I get that it's frustrating, but look after this year and compare DJ Moore's first 5 years to Stephon Diggs' first 5 years. They're better, or they will be.
DJ Moore's first 5 years are better than a lot of wide receivers' first 5 years.
I know.
It's just Baker right now.
Well, Baker's Baker's so bad.
It's sad to say that like DJ Moore is producing better with Cam Newton, like a 35-year-old Cam Newton,
Kyle Allen,
Sam Darnold. Yeah. Than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, it's bad.
Sadness. But yeah. And this is an easy one where it's just if you can buy low for this kind of price, buy it, stash it, wait for greener pastures. Hector in a 12-team super flex, his quarterbacks are Hurts and Justin Fields. Needs to upgrade Fields. Is Dak worth more than a 23 first? And what would you give for Trevor Lawrence in picks?
Trevor Lawrence is worth more than 2 firsts.
They both 2 firsts?
Yeah.
Or are you saying more than 2 firsts?
I mean, that's what it's going to cost.
Fields plus what equals Lawrence?
Oh, it's going to cost Fields in a first.
But yeah. I mean, I might pay more than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, maybe.
Not 2 firsts and Fields. I wouldn't do that.
No, not 2 firsts and Fields.
But if it was Fields in a first and a second,
maybe
I'd eat the second and I'll just take Trevor Lawrence. I'm coming back. I'm coming into the Trevor Lawrence train.
A little late.
That's all right. Whatever. I think I underestimated how bad Urban Meyer was for this team.
Yeah.
Like I already knew it was horrible, like horrendously, horribly, terribly, awfully bad. But I even underestimated it after that.
Think so.
Yeah. It was bad. Bow to the bars. Give Aaron Jones, get Kareem Hunt and an early 23 second in Superflex, 12-team Superflex.
I'll take Hunt in the second.
Yep.
I'm not sure that the difference in production between Aaron Jones and Kareem Hunt is going to be that much. And Kareem Hunt's younger than Aaron Jones.
Is he really?
Yes. August 95 and December 94.
What?
Look it up.
27. He's that much younger?
Oh, I mean, that's what, 8 months? It's not that much.
Yeah, I guess it's a good point. But yeah, it just seems okay.
Pretty sure Kareem Hunt really is August 95, though.
I can tell you in a second, as soon as this page loads. No, I agree though. I would take Kareem Hunt in a second. That's an easy trade. This is I would do this if I was competing. I'd do this if I was rebuilding. I would maybe not if I was, but yeah, I would do it if I was rebuilding. Because you get the second. August 95.
Oh, I was right.
Do you know what day?
Surprise. The day?
Yeah.
I don't know the day, man.
Dang it. August.
I don't know the day.
Marcus, 10-team, 1 quarterback. He traded Garrett Wilson, Christian Kirk, and a first for Breece Hall and a second. Both picks belong to the same team, so full round difference.
You overpaid.
Holy crap, you overpaid. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Kirk's worth significantly more than a second at this point, and I'd rather have Garrett Wilson in a first over Breece Hall. So, bad trade. Sorry. Ask me before you do it next time.
Sorry, Marcus.
It's Sorry.
Even a 1 QB, I know that like depreciates the first, but it's also 10 teams, so it kind of helps it a little bit. But
No, there's nothing good
there's
about
still,
this trade.
yeah,
This trade is really bad. Sorry.
Sorry, Marcus. Ugh, I hate when that happens.
Well, I always say just ask me before you do it.
Yeah, hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah, like
hop into the DLF.
I would have prevented it from happening.
Just run it by someone real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll be good. Lefty, we already had him in here because he joined you to the.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
What's up, Lefty? Henry's
a legend, as Cal would say.
He is a legend. And he had one team that he did that startup and have 6 future firsts. Dobbs I was a Dobbs start away from going 3-0. Had him in a lineup, then pulled him for Aguilar when he saw Myers was out.
I wouldn't have let you if you'd asked me.
But on the bright side, you have Romeo Dobbs. So now
the bright side is that you have 6 future firsts, bro.
And you're 2-1 with Romeo Dobbs. There's a lot of bright
sides. To be fair, in Trade Addicts 8, I'm 2-1 and have 6 future firsts.
That's the freaking dream, dude.
I know.
It's possible to build for the future while
everyone's looking for like rebuilding assets in that league, and I'm just kind of like twiddling my thumbs.
You're just like, I have.
Well, I'm being very patient. I mean, I have 7 seconds as well, so I've kind of clogged up the trading situation.
I love it.
I was playing hardball.
That's right.
I'm very much, yeah. Whenever I negotiate, I'm definitely a hard ass.
We should get in a Dynasty league together. Maybe I'll join.
No.
If Russ does another Trade Addicts, I might join it.
Sure. Although I got into that one randomly.
I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah. See, you want him to stuff the ballot box?
Yeah. Yeah.
He might do that. I told him he said he needed trade content for his show. So I told him, make a bad trade with me and I'll accept it.
We can talk about it on the DLF.
I'm ruthless.
I love it. Robert, thoughts on rest of season and futures of Javonte Williams versus Najee Harris?
Oh boy. I mean, I like Najee Harris more the rest of the season, but for the future, Javonte's 2 years younger, so I'll prefer him in Dynasty.
Does Javonte break free from Melvin Gordon after this?
Well, eventually, you would think, right?
After this year?
Yeah.
That's the hope. Hopefully.
I think it'll happen this year. It just isn't imminent.
I think there's a probability where Javonte is better than Najee for the rest of the season as well, if the Broncos offense starts kicking things into gear, because Javonte would actually get like solid goal line opportunities. Like he's had the volume. The problem is that he hasn't scored yet.
Yeah, it's just, I think the other thing is I think we're just overvaluing all these running backs. It's like,
I agree on that.
I think if you start your team with a receiver, I think you're better off.
Mm-hmm. In both redraft and dynasty, you've been certainly better off.
Yeah.
Because like 10 wide receivers have outscored Saquon as like the RB1 right now. So like, yeah, that's definitely the way to go. And I think that's going to continue. Do you think that's going to continue?
I do. I don't think that's an outlier.
Yeah, I agree. Brett, 12-team Superflex PPR, Tony Pollard or Wan'Dale Robinson for a rebuild?
Wan'Dale. And just to add to the running back situation, I think 2019 Christian McCaffrey was the last of those. I think that was it. I think that is the last one ever. I don't think it's ever going to happen again that we have a season like that. I think that the teams are going away from that.
Yeah, I agree. But you'd rather have Wan'Dale here?
Absolutely.
If you had Tony Pollard, would you trade him for Wan'Dale in a rebuild in this situation?
Yes, I would.
Really?
Yes. I don't think that. I don't know. Tony Pollard is whatever to me.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just feel like you can get more for Pollard.
Then get more.
Like if it would be like Wan'Dale in a second, because Wan'Dale's done nothing.
I know.
Up until this point. Oh, I have faith. Don't get me wrong. Dude's better than Kadarius Toney. So
I know.
Yeah. So I just think that the community values Tony Pollard so highly.
Well,
or at least the Twitter Dynasty community values Tony Pollard so highly. And I think that I think it's a mistake. I'm with you. And I just think if you have Tony Pollard and you're trying to get to Wan'Dale, ask for more than just a straight up trade.
Sure.
Lefty, sincere note. Tyler, Addison, Cal, chat. You all make my week a hell of a lot better. Appreciate my Taco Tuesday, Waffle Wednesday crew. Lefty, I'm going to cry.
I'm not.
Thanks, bro. Oh. Lefty, thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is certainly one of the highlights of my week as well. And I talked about it on Twitter last week. I think it's just absolutely crazy that a show like this exists and I'm part of it.
Aw.
So
That's
chat's awesome. You're awesome. Cal's awesome. Everybody's awesome. Henry, waivers in my redrafts have been awful every single week, including this week, unless you believe in Mac freaking Hollins.
I don't.
I agree. 71 leagues, no Herbert, no Madison, no Jamal is out there.
Okay.
That means you got Fab. Let everybody else pick up. Let everybody else spend Fab and wait for that one player.
Yeah.
That's
what else
gonna
can you
happen. No, just it's been a horrible year. I've done the waiver wire article for 3 years now. This is the worst year I've done it.
I'm glad I don't do that article.
It's not fun. I had to write about Matt Collins, and I did not like it.
I haven't written anything in so long.
I don't like it as much. Video's so much better.
So don't do it.
I got 13 more weeks. We're out here. It's just one a week. And I have a template and everything. We're all good. Scuba Steve, 12 teams to reflect. Garrett Wilson and DeAndre Hopkins, or a 23 mid first and 23 early second.
Garrett Wilson.
Would you take Wilson without Hopkins?
Yes.
Okay. That was my answer as well. Hopkins is free.
I'm fully confident.
Yep. Ridley Truther, what's up? He's 3-0 in his. Wait, I'm in a 3-0, 12-team PPR Superflex, 2 tight end premium. Go all in on Pittman in a second for 223 first, both late and Dotson. Have Lamar, Andrews, Kelsey, Drake, Amon-Ra.
Nah. The 23 first for me.
It's the Dotson that's ruining it.
I mean, I said that in a 12-team Superflex, there's only 4 wide receivers that are worth 223 firsts or more. There's only 4.
4?
Yeah. Chase, Jefferson, Brown, and Waddle, and that's it. Everyone else isn't even worth 2 firsts. Wide receivers are just, there's a lot of them. I like them all, but there's a lot of them.
What if it was the Pittman in the second for 2 firsts? The second matter?
That's good enough, yeah. Pittman's in that group with the second, I would take it, and that group includes a lot of guys.
Sure.
Okay. But yeah.
So it really is just Dotson ruining this for you. So if you can chop Dotson off,
Dotson's worth more than a second, so it's even worse.
Right.
Yeah, it's even worse than Pittman for 2 firsts. Dotson's worth significantly more than a second.
Yep. There you go. You got that super chat?
I'll grab it. How much in 23 draft capital are you comfortable adding to Kyler to get Josh Allen at 10-team Superflex? Thanks. No problem. Well,
thank you.
Yeah.
10-team Superflex. I know you're
all the quarterbacks lose a bit of value there. But would I add a first? I guess you have. You're not gonna get it otherwise.
No, you have to add the first.
Yeah. I don't know if I would.
If it's your first, you're competing. Kyler in your first that you're hoping is 108, 110, 111, and Josh Allen.
Yeah. Sure. I'll say sure.
I would
if you're already 3-0, sure. How about that?
Yeah, I would do it. I think Josh Allen.
That takes a lot of the risk out of it. If you're already 3-0, it's already not going to be a top 3 pick.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah. I'm sure it does. Doesn't hurt.
Kyler in her late first. Where was I at? Michael, 10-team PPR. Javonte Williams, Gabe Davis, Pittman for CD, AJ Dillon, Kenneth Walker, and a 23 first.
I feel like that has to be Javonte Williams. Otherwise, there's no point in asking this question.
If it's Jamal.
Well, Javonte and CD Lamb basically cancel out for me. So then if we look at the rest of it, Davis, Pittman for Dillon, Walker, and a first. I mean, Davis and Dillon pretty much, that's pretty much also kind of a wash for me. So then it's just Pittman for Walker and a 23 first. I don't know. I mean, in a 1 QB, I feel like Pittman should carry a tiny bit more than that, but not much more. I'll lean the left side, but it's close because I'd slightly rather have CD over Javonte, and I'd slightly rather have Dylan over Davis. So that makes it closer. Lean the left side though. I like Pittman a lot.
Yeah, I think I lean the right side a little bit.
I just don't believe in Walker really becoming anything anymore.
See, so my thought process for this was Pittman and CD kind of cancel out as the wide receivers. And I would trade Javonte for Dylan in a first.
I still think CD is worth a good bit more than Pittman. But Matt Ryan looks so cooked, and they're stuck with him.
That's true. Yeah.
He looks cooked.
That's so true.
And this is game 3 of 2 seasons of him that they're committed to. And he looks cooked now. He was terrible. He looked terrible this week. Absolutely awful. The stats look good, but he can't. No, he's looked terrible in every game. He's looked terrible in all of them. Terrible. So if it takes a further progression down, I mean, it's going to be really bad. Whereas Dak is going to come back. I mean, CD had a good week. Dropped a couple of passes, but then that touchdown was really
touchdown
good.
Catch. Yeah,
that was such a nice. I saw that live. As painful as it was for me. But yeah, I'll go with the left side.
It's close.
It is
very close on both sides.
Side.
I'll take CD Lamb. TDST D Lamar and Andrews for Herbert and Mike Williams in a Dynasty.
I don't think the format matters. It's Lamar and Andrews.
Yes, 100%.
Lamar to me at this point, Josh Allen is in tier 1 by himself. I mean, he's just obliterating fantasy football. I get that Lamar is, I think that Josh Allen's success is more repeatable. It's based on passing volume, that he is just elite passing volume. I think that's what he's going to do.
It's
Lamar,
the third year he's done it in a row.
Right. But what Lamar is not going to continue doing is throwing as many touchdowns as he has. That is not going to continue. He's only done that in one of the other 3 years. And I don't think that's repeatable. He certainly doesn't have the weapons to repeat that. I don't think that Lamar's thrown 10 touchdowns in 3 games. I don't think we can expect that. So I have Lamar and Herbert in the same tier. But, Allen is in my top tier by himself. And Mahomes is in with them still. Mm-hmm. But since they're in the same tier, I'd so much rather have Andrews over Williams. That's all that matters in this one.
Yep.
Essentially to me at this point, Allen is so far head and shoulders above everyone else. And then Mahomes, Herbert, and Lamar essentially carry equal value. And then everyone else is the next.
Is Hurts in there yet?
No, not even close. Not even close. I mean, Hurts can't do what Lamar does in terms of fantasy. If everything comes together, Lamar's ceiling can win you the league by himself. Hurts, I don't think, has that ability.
I think they're close.
No, they're not. Also, a side note, Lamar is just a far better player than Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Like Lamar is excellent. I mean, Lamar is. I don't think 10 touchdowns is going to stay, but Lamar's actually been throwing the ball well. Yeah. I just think that maybe he's going to come back down to earth a little bit.
Probably. I don't know. Their defense is trash, so they might need him to continue being heroic.
But Hurts also is probably due for more than 4. I mean, he has over 300. He's averaging 300 yards a game and only 4 passing touchdowns. So he's probably due for a couple more passing touchdowns.
Right.
But no, Hurts is not in that grouping just because I don't think. I mean, how good do you think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 real life quarterback? Because I would still say no. It's close. I think he's working his way there.
I think he's there now, just with how bad, Rodgers, Brady, everybody in the 23 class minus Lawrence. I think he's in there.
Well, if you were starting an NFL team today and you can have Lawrence or Hurts, which one would you take?
Oh, Lawrence.
Lawrence. Right. So then if you're thinking Lawrence, then Hurts is not a top 10 real life quarterback.
Why?
Well, because there's going to be a lot of it. I mean, Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar are all better. I mean, I'd still rather have Burrow over Hurts.
Yes. Allen, real life. Allen, Herbert, Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Dak,
Watson,
Lawrence, Watson.
I guess there's not that many more. I mean, we're still
still
at the point where Brady. Are we still at the point where
Kyler,
Brady's better than Hurts? I mean, probably. Although Brady's starting to.
No.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, just in and of himself, is better than Jalen Hurts still. The problem with Aaron Rodgers is not Aaron Rodgers. The problem with Aaron Rodgers is that he has no weapons. So he's not good for fantasy anymore. But I still think Aaron Rodgers, in and of himself, is better. The reason I don't want him for Dynasty and fantasy is because he doesn't have weapons and he's old. But I still think Aaron Rodgers, just as a quarterback, is better.
Sure.
Jalen Hurts. And same with Brady. Again, it's just the age that I don't want him for Dynasty. But I don't think there was anything wrong with Tom Brady playing wise. He just had no weapons this week.
I don't know. If Hurts is in top 10 right now, he's definitely like 11.
Yeah, he's getting there. I mean, I'm not sure that he's better than Tua real life either.
Oh.
And Tua's a better passer.
I feel like that's saying something coming from you.
Well, I never thought Jalen Hurts was a good passer.
He's looked a lot better. He missed a couple
he's looked a lot
balls.
better. But Tua's also looked a lot better. They both have shown a lot of improvement.
Well, it helps whenever you add a top 10.
And Tua was better over the last 2 years as a passer.
Do you have the super chat?
I'll grab it.
Nice.
Okay, so there's a lot of things here. Team, a lot of things.
Send what for Godwin?
Yeah, but there's another thing. A-Rob and Clyde for Brees and Olave. What? I don't understand. Yeah, Brees and Olave. That one doesn't make any sense.
Send
and
what
then the second Brees and Olave easily. Then what about the second part? Send what for Godwin?
This is a 12-team keeper, half PPR.
Yeah, but I don't know how many you're keeping.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have to buy Chris Godwin. Like, I'm not sure that I'm targeting Chris Godwin.
Right. I mean, every single week you're starting Waddle and Chase.
And Deontay over Godwin at this point.
Deontay and Keenan.
Yeah, I don't know if I need Godwin.
Now you're getting Chris Olave.
Yeah, I don't think I need Godwin. I think I'm good.
I think I wouldn't be targeting Godwin. I'd be targeting a running back.
Yeah. Well, if you're 3-0, probably have to.
You're swapping CEH for Brees, so you're gonna have Saquon, Brees, and Walker. But I feel like you need another guy in there. And you have all this wide receiver depth. Like, could you trade? Boy, could you get like Dalvin Cook?
Do you even
just for the
Dalvin
year?
Cook, though?
It's just for the year. Kamara.
I mean, do you want Kamara?
Aaron Jones.
Do you want Aaron Jones?
I do actually want Aaron Jones for the year.
You want to hear something crazy? I did this on my own show, but I think we need to do it here. So talking about running backs, right? We're talking about running backs. Let's take a look back at last week. I think that's what we have to do. We have to take a look back at last week because I think that people are not realizing like just how bad it is, the running back landscape. Let's take a look back at last week, okay? So running backs I had ranked in the top. This is who I ranked as my top running backs going into last week. We'll see how we like it. Number 1 was Jonathan Taylor. How did he do? How did that one go? Were you happy?
No.
What about number 2, Christian McCaffrey? How'd that go?
He had the yardage.
But were you happy?
You
ranked him. You had him at 2.
He was right.
Okay. After that was Saquon Barkley. How did that go?
Oh, fantastic.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Next, Dalvin Cook.
No.
Not good. After that, Austin Eckler.
No.
Not good. Joe Mixon. What about that one?
No.
DeAndre Swift. How about that? How'd he do?
I'd put him with Christian McCaffrey.
He wasn't so good.
Right.
Derrick Henry.
Also all right. Didn't score.
Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Najee Harris.
No.
Yeah. Terrible so far, right? Nick Chubb. Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Javonte Williams. Dave Montgomery.
The process was there.
Antonio Gibson. These were the running backs who were ranked in the top of start-sit rank. These are the guys people started last week. You got to get away from investing heavily in running backs.
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, if you could trade like Kenneth Walker and would you go for Swift now that Swift is hurt? Could you send?
Sure.
I mean, it sucks because it's Kenneth Walker, but Walker and Keenan for Swift.
Try it.
And then you're gonna have to sit Swift for a week or two. But when he's playing, he's more often than not top 10, top 5 even.
Yeah,
that would be my way to go. I wouldn't go for Godwin, Raheel, with your wide receiver depth. But thank you for the super chat. Yeah, where were we? M. Stevens 912. During the offseason, he traded Jonathan Taylor, Godwin for Christian McCaffrey, Chubb, and a mid-23 first in Superflex, feeling better by the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's
now
pretty
flip
good.
McCaffrey.
It's pretty good. Christian McCaffrey is losing value, though.
Yeah, you got to flip McCaffrey now.
Yeah, you got to flip. You got to get out from McCaffrey while you still can.
Yep. Do this same thing. Just trade away CMC.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep. TDS again. What should I try and trade ETN away for in a dynasty league?
You can't.
Yeah, I think it's really hard right now.
I think it's too late. Yeah, I think now it's too late. I think people have seen enough, and they're so concerned that there's no way to move him. ETN's become a hold.
Yeah. They're really like, I can't even tell you what to sell for right now because I just know you're not getting it. Like, you're not getting a 23 first. You're not getting a 24 first. You're not getting like any other good enough running back at this point to really sell away.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I wouldn't, if I'm selling ETN, I'm not trading him for a running back. I think, like, I'm trying to go for a wider. Could you trade away Christian Kirk or ETN for Christian Kirk right now?
No. I'd take Kirk, but you can't.
Right. That's what, like, I would like to do that. I just don't know.
Well, you can't do that though. You won't be able to.
That's just where we're at right now. Man, Olave?
Oh, no way. Olave is worth a lot more than Kirk.
Dotson.
No, you're not going to be able to do that.
I'm scrolling way too far down.
I have Olave at wide receiver 18, so I don't think so.
Interesting. Yeah. Jameson Williams?
That one maybe you'd be able to do because Jameson Williams hasn't played.
Right. Or Michael Gallup.
Huh. I mean, I'd rather have ETN over Gallup.
Okay. Just seeing how far down the wide receiver list I had to scroll. Henry saying DJ Moore's killing him. Yes.
I feel so bad.
It's been rough.
That's an understatement.
Derpson. What can I get for James Robinson in a Superflex league? Is 23 first too much?
I'd take it if you can get it.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't know if you can. I'd try. I'd put James Robinson on the block.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we just said earlier before, like 30 minutes ago, that we both have ETN over James Robinson in Dynasty, and then we just named you how hard it is to trade away ETN.
I actually think Robinson has more market value.
Probably because he's actually producing, but I think it's just rough because he's kind of a weird asset.
During the season, Dynasty becomes redraft. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Try to get the first. If you can get the first, go for it. Even if it's a 24 first, I'll take a 24 first. But yeah, man. Yeah. Brian, 10-team Superflex. Gibson or Ramondre, and is a plus needed on either side?
I'll take Ramondre.
I will too. Do you need to add to Gibson? Or is
I
it
think
vice
you're
versa?
going to have to if you want to get Ramondre.
I think that's relatively close. I think that depends on who has each. This would be one of those deals where if I saw Gibson for Ramondre in a second, I'd take the Ramondre side. If I saw Ramondre for Gibson in a second, I'd take the Gibson side. Whichever side had the plus, I would take.
But I'll take Ramondre straight up pretty easily.
I agree. Christian Kirk party is follow the money and see where it goes. See, that worked for Christian Kirk, did not work for Kenny Golladay.
No, not at all.
Patrick said he also just bought his first Kirk share by selling some Dobbs in a second round pick swap. and a third. Wow.
I don't know what that pick swap exactly means, but I'll take Kirk.
It sounds like it was Kirk in a second for Dobbs a second and a third.
Kirk then.
Yeah. Wow. Rob Z, I have ETN. I read that backwards. Javonte, Brees, and ETN. Should I try to move one?
I don't know.
Are you actively trying to move any of these guys right now? I don't think I'm actively trying to.
No.
But I'm definitely seeing what's out there, I think.
Brees, I'm definitely not trying to move. I'm good with Brees.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, I think that if you can get, like I heard it was Dynasty Trades in 5. It's Scott and Shane in their other show. I need them to get back on Mannequin Chill. But they were talking. They said that if you can move Brees for like Eckler in a first right now or Mixon in a first, that they would do that.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know why I want Eckler or Mixon.
Similar production, and you get the first. I think that was their argument.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily disagree with, but I think all three of these guys are kind of hard to move right now. I think running backs in general are just really hard to move right now. So that's kind of the thing. Carl's rules question. How do you determine draft order for non-playoff teams if they have the same record? What's the tiebreaker? Points for, head-to-head, random wheel, something else?
Total points.
What if that's the same?
Head-to-head then.
Okay. Do you go to like potential points or anything? Or I'm assuming potential points is maybe how you're determining the draft order?
No, I mean, I would go, no, it's record first and then points. And then if points is somehow exactly tied, I guess you go head to head.
I'm in. Eric, am I crazy to want to trade Kamara and Elijah Moore for James Robinson and Christian Kirk for win now production? I think you are.
Yeah, it's completely crazy.
You are, you're leaving value on the table.
You're leaving a lot of value out there.
You're still taking Elijah Moore over Christian Kirk, right?
Yes.
Okay. I had to check on that one. But even if they're similar, I still think Kamara and J-Rob, that difference is still pretty
wide, yeah.
Yes.
So I'd rather have Kamara.
What's the bridge for you? Add a second?
I like when you ask me something like that, I'm kind of like, it's just like so hard for me to even imagine it because I don't trade for Kamara.
No, he's trading away Kamara.
Well, in that case, I mean, I guess I feel like even a second isn't enough, but it's so hard to value guys like Henry and Kamara.
Yeah, I agree. I think that James Robinson is really the issue here.
Yeah.
Did I see another super chat pop up?
Yeah.
Nice. Kyle, thank you. Full PPR trade offer. He'd receive Mike Evans, Rashad Penny, and Tua Tagovailoa and trade away Mike Williams and James Robinson. His current quarterback is Russ.
Yeah. I'll go with
puke emoji.
I mean, if this is one QB, I'll go with Williams and Robinson. Obviously, if it's super flex, Tua. But there's got to be one QB, otherwise it's not a question.
Yeah, I agree. Because the just getting that quarterback in one QB, that's not
doesn't really do
your
anything.
other situation. Yeah. Like James Robinson is just doing so much better than Rashad Penny, and Mike Williams and Mike Evans maybe have the similar ceiling, similar floor. They're kind of the same player right now. Yeah, this isn't enough to move off of Williams and James Robinson just for a better quarterback. Yeah. Thank you, Kyle. Edward, do you think Miles Sanders is being undervalued given his usage in an ascending Philly offense? Is his age and contract too much risk?
No, he's not being undervalued. And his age is not really it. It's more the contract and just like they're not going to re-sign him. I mean, he's been kind of meh. So yeah, I don't think he's being undervalued.
I was surprised. When I was looking at September ADP earlier today for my video tomorrow, I saw that he was RB 36. Behind Cook, Pollard, Edmonds, like James Cook, Tony Pollard, Edmonds, Rashad White.
I have him at RB 34. So, I'm not that different.
Behind those guys?
Behind some of them, ahead of others.
I feel like he should be at least in the top 30. So
Why?
maybe he is slightly undervalued because of the production that you're getting right now. And I do think that he is
You're getting that much production right now?
relative to a lot of other running backs.
Yes, I just think that it's not good. I don't know. He's not involved in the passing game at all. Not that other running backs are. It's just that yeah. I'm good on Miles Sanders. He's just like, he has a lot of empty rushing volume. He scored 1 touchdown in 3 weeks. He's playing like half the snaps. He doesn't get involved in the passing game. Jalen Hurts is running all over the place. I don't want Miles Sanders. You can't trust him.
Yeah, I'm not against it. Plus with the fact that I do agree, I don't think he's on the Eagles next year. If he is, it's like a 1-year super
I don't think he's
money deal. Just for like continuity, offensive continuity. But they have so many picks next year too that they could just let him walk and they could just grab, not like Bijan, but they could pick up like Tank Bigsby or somebody like that, and just hit the reset button on running back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's in there for sure. Another super chat.
Yeah, I'll grab it. Where do you have Garrett Wilson, Marquise Brown, and Devonta Smith in your wide receiver rankings? Is Mooney a buy low? Well, to answer the second part first, Mooney's not really a buy low. Depends on how low. I mean, if I can get him for a third, sure.
Can you go down low? If you're a contender with a late 23 second, are you buying Mooney?
No. Because what's he going to get me?
The hope that Justin Fields is not the quarterback next year.
No. But I'm not. No. To answer this question, I have Garrett Wilson at wide receiver 15, Hollywood Brown at 19, and Devonta Smith at 29.
Wow. No, yeah, that sounds about right where I would have everybody too. Because Garrett Wilson, is he behind London for you still?
Yeah. Okay. I have Wilson or London one spot ahead at 14.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's right. I'm honestly surprised that I thought for some reason I would have thought that Hollywood would have been a little bit lower. But 19 sounds pretty fair. Because I think he's definitely above. He was 25 in September ADP, and I would have him above probably about 4 or 5 of those guys. So sounds about right. Yeah. Cool deal. Where are we at? Mystical Child, 1 of 2. 12-team Superflex start 11 quarterbacks. Herbert Russ, start 11 quarterback. He said, "What player should I target, and what would you pay to get him?" These questions are so hard.
I don't even know how to answer this.
I
mean, I know you're one of my patrons. Just ask me this.
And what would you pay to get him?
Just ask me this in DMs.
Your team is already so freaking good. Yeah, I would say stay the course and then just use your draft picks for rookie running backs next year, and you're in. Like that's where I would. Maybe if you try to get off of Russ, that would be my recommendation. But yeah, if you're one of Tyler's patrons, I know he can just dive into this so much.
We can talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
DM me is a lot less sloppy than show me.
Grant, 12-team, 1 quarterback, 1 PPR contender. Trade away Elijah Moore and Antonio Gibson for Nick Chubb.
If you have to, it's not the worst thing. Elijah Moore is losing some value. Antonio Gibson is someone I want to get out of immediately before Brian Robinson comes back. I mean, there are worse things you could do. This is not the end of the world.
I agree. I like it. I wish it was. I wish it wasn't Nick Chubb who was.
Well, who would you prefer?
No, I'm just saying. Like I don't know why. Like just in my head, it would be.
There is nobody. You say you prefer it wasn't Nick Chubb, but which running back would you take? You want Saquon Barkley? I mean, that's what you want, Christian McCaffrey. I mean,
Saquon.
Sure, but there aren't that many options. Like you have to understand, since there's only a couple of those guys, that you're not getting them. This is what you have. This is it. I mean,
I think I'm just more sad that this is the world that we're currently living in.
This is
with
the world we
running
live
backs.
in. Yeah, this is the world we live in. This is why you should have just, if you're going to have a running back, it was fine to have your running back one be Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
And just draft him start with 5 wide receivers and draft, assuming it's a 1 QB, start with 5 wide receivers and draft him in the 6th. You could have done that.
Dynasty strategy and dynasty startups are going to be really fun next year.
I think we learned our lesson,
Yeah.
with running backs.
Man.
All right. I'll grab the next super chat.
We have another super chat. Same team as last super chat. Should I offer Stafford, CH, Keenan for Hurts, Chubb, and Zay Jones? Is the value off in either direction? Is it keep 3? Okay.
That's redraft. Keep 3 is redraft. So
basically. Stafford, CH, Keenan.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Chubb over Keenan.
And
Clyde is barely relevant. So yeah, I'd rather have the Hurts side.
Yeah. If you can get that, I do think the value's off a little bit just from my personal. Like, I think it's kind of Hurts side easy.
Yeah. I mean, assume it's 1 QB. If it's super flex, this is easily the Hurts side.
Yeah. But I don't really know
even
what
1 QB, I think the Chubb side here.
Yeah.
With Hurts.
Yeah. Fairly easily.
Yeah. Keenan's lost a good bit of value after the injury. I just feel like it's kind of disrupted his rhythm. The Chargers don't look as good as maybe we thought. Herbert is hurt.
I mean, I'm sure Keenan's going to come back and just be Keenan again.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see.
Zay Jones has also looked really good too. So the difference between
Josh Palmer is also emerging a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Not that he's going to overtake Keenan so quickly. I'm just saying it's another option.
I would take the Hurts side. I like that you're getting Chubb as your running back for sure. So then you'd have Saquon, Breece, and Chubb. No, the Breece, you wouldn't get Breece because you gave away CH.
I have Chubb at running back 4 for this week against Atlanta.
Wow. Yeah.
There's no one else. Look at the rankings. I mean,
offer it. See what happens. Even if you have to take Zay Jones off, do it. Just take.
Yeah.
I'd still do it without Zay Jones. So give that one a shot and see what happens. If not, then just do the other one where you're getting Breece Hall and Chris Olave, because that one also works as well too. Where are we at? Carl's 10 team Superflex PPR 23 first and Curtis Samuel or Debo Samuel.
Still Debo, but not unreasonable. And I'll grab the super chat in a second. But
man, we keep getting super chats.
I know.
If this was an early 23 first, does that change your mind?
Ooh, if it's early and we're sure it's early, then maybe I'll have to take that side.
Yeah, I would take that side.
Yeah. But it'd have to be very sure. I'd have to be very sure that it's top 3 for sure.
Okay.
Well, how many players in the 23 class do you think you would take over Debo? How many do you think?
Quarterbacks?
There's probably going to be 3. Would be my
Stroud,
guess.
Young, Bijan.
And that's it. It's my guess. Maybe another receiver, but putting a receiver in that high, that quick is tough. I mean, Jamar Chase is one of the only ones to go in that high, that fast.
Jordan Addison's looked really good, and he has a fantastic.
I mean, whoever the receiver is has to pretty much be drafted top 10 in order to be even considered that high. And then they also
might get there too.
Yeah, he might, but it's not a guarantee.
But no, I agree with that. Yep. So unless if it's top 3, Trogdor, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Just want to thank both of you and Cal for the weekly entertainment and education, and Tyler specifically for advising me on 2 excellent trades made this week for Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
What were the trades? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Trogdor, post them real quick.
Wouldn't it be nice if I remembered? But I'm running on Waiver, so I just
Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I did approve of acquiring Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson.
I would approve on a lot of deals that would make me acquire Amon-Ra and Garrett
Someone
Wilson.
in my Patreon asked me about a trade earlier, and I was like, "Did I approve this one?" And he was like, "Yes," and I was like, "I'll trust past me."
I love it. Thank you, Trogdor.
We approved it, so I'm good with it.
Thank you. Nicholas, should I trade 23 first to get DJ Moore?
No.
You could use that 23 first on a wide receiver who might come in as a better wide receiver than DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Even in one QB, I'm still not doing it. Still take the 23 first.
Yep, I agree. Lefty, don't do it. Lefty knows. How much fab should I throw on Matt Collins or Isaiah McKenzie in Dynasty? Well, I want McKenzie of the two.
McKenzie, I could put in Dynasty 25%. I don't know why he's on waivers. Hollins, nah. 5%.
3%.
Nothing, really.
Yep.
Hollins, I think, is a flash in the pan. And we know that they gave long-term extensions to Waller, Adams, and Renfro. I mean,
yeah, Hollins,
those are going to be their guys. They're going to get it to those guys. Hollins is not going to be consistently involved.
Yep, I agree. McKenzie,
now, it would be great for Derek Carr if Hollins were a good fourth option.
Yes.
But you're never going to be able to trust Matt Collins with the other guys healthy.
Agreed. Go get McKenzie. Eric, 12-team Superflex, Stafford, Hollywood, Deontay, Isaiah McKenzie for Tua, a 24 first and 24 second. For context, he's in a rebuild with Stafford and Fields. Felt like he needs some long-term stability. He already has 4 firsts in 23 and 3 in 24.
I mean, I already approved this trade and said I would take the Tua side.
Really?
Yeah, really.
No, I can't. I can't see why you would do that.
Well, past me said so. So I'm gonna. This is actually the trade I was talking about.
Oh, I think Stafford and Tua are relatively close enough that I would
No,
take
they're not.
Hollywood. I would
No,
take
they're
Hollywood Deontay over
How
first
are they
and
close?
second. They're relatively close enough.
How are they close? No, they're not close. They're not close at all. Stafford and Tua are not close in any universe. Tua is 10 years younger, and Stafford has looked like terrible, and he hasn't done anything for fantasy at all.
But then also Hollywood and Deontay, you take easily over 24 first and second.
I mean,
I think that makes up.
I think a 24 first and second is worth about Hollywood.
Right.
And I would take Tua over Stafford and Deontay.
Really?
Yes, really. Yes.
When did you become the Tua truther?
It's not the Tua truther. It's the anti-Stafford brigade. Stafford has looked terrible, and he's 34. I mean, for fantasy, for real life, he's been bad too. He's not been good at all. I'm concerned. Seriously concerned. And Tua is worth tiers of value above Stafford for me. I want the stable quarterback long term. Stafford, we could be heading into a dumpster. What's Russell Wilson's long-term contract worth in fantasy right now? His 5 year, 5 years what is that worth to us? It's not worth anything. Doesn't matter.
I think Russ and Tua are relatively similar too. If you replace Stafford with Russ, I'd feel the same.
Well, I'd feel a lot better with Russ than Stafford, actually.
Man.
But Stafford doesn't look like utter garbage.
So this is Stafford hate. All right.
And what has he done to deserve? That injury, his elbow, is it?
Yeah, it's like
that injury is a big problem. That injury is a big problem. He doesn't look effective at all. He
said he had that injury last year though, and they went through it.
Clearly not. I don't agree. He can say that, but it's clearly worse now because he doesn't look good. 3 games, he's looked bad. He doesn't have any zip. He's 5 interceptions already. And honestly, last year he was overrated for fantasy.
No, I agree with that too.
So yeah, I'll take Tua side. It's another super chat. On a scale of 10, how bad was this offer? Well, got offered Kelsey and Ronald Jones for Pitts, Breece Hall, 23 first, likely top 3, and a 24 second. I'll give it a 10. This is terrible.
I'll give it a 12.
This is really bad. Yeah, this is a 10. This is terrible. This is a horrible offer.
I love how they added in Ronald Jones.
Yeah,
that would make it
one of the first 3 things is worth more than the other side. Any of those things, Pitts, Hall, or the 23 first likely top 3 are all worth more than Kelsey and Ronald Jones individually, let alone all together. Yeah, it's terrible. This is a 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10 terrible offer. It's more than 3 times bad.
I just love that they added Ronald.
I appreciate the super chat on this one. I don't know if you needed to.
Thank you. That's
this is a bad offer. I hope you don't need me to tell you.
I needed that laugh. That felt good.
Yeah.
Nicholas, would you trade James Robinson to get Kamara, even though Robinson's 24 and Kamara's 27?
Yes, I still would. I have people asking me. I had someone ask me this week, should I start Alvin Kamara or Devin Singletary? I'm like, really?
It's still Alvin Kamara. Like, he still gets credit for that.
Yeah, I still ranked Alvin Kamara at running back 10 this week.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to do? Rank all the good running backs low? I mean, it doesn't work that way.
You're starting Khalil Herbert this week over Christian McCaffrey?
No.
See? 12-team Superflex. Dak in a 23 first or Hurts in a 24 second?
Dak in a 23
Dak.
Yeah, Dak.
That's not the difference.
I do have Hurts higher, but not much higher.
Not a 23 first higher.
No, not a 23 first higher.
Never managed a winning team before. 3-0.
Well, first time for everything, right, bro?
He's a productive struggle guy, and that's where we're at. 3-0, 12-team PPR. That's his team. Offered a 23 first for Christian Kirk.
I'll take the 23 first.
I agree. I didn't have coffee. I don't drink coffee anyway.
You don't drink coffee?
No, it's disgusting.
What do you mean it's disgusting?
It's horrible.
I've had 6 cups of coffee today.
That sounds terrible.
Why is it terrible?
Your taste buds, your digestive system.
Nah, it's so good for me. Nah.
Is it black or are you putting stuff in?
Black, yeah.
Oh, that's even worse, dude.
No. God. It's very good for you. Keeps your digestive system moving.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
At least I'm very regular there, you know?
This
is what happens. This is what happens when Cal is not here. When I get control of half the show instead of a third, we get to hear about how the coffee affects certain things. That's what we get to hear about. I'm sure the people wanted to know. They did. They wanted to know about that.
Inmates are running the asylum here.
I mean, what are you, Tom Coughlin? Tom Coughlin quote right there.
It's a good one.
No,
1-2, and he just lost DeAndre Swift. Lost that's a strong word. 1 quarterback, 10 team start 9. He has Trey Lance and Russ at quarterback. He gave up 2 mid-23 first for Kyler. His plan is then to trade Russ once Russ actually gets it together.
I'll get to that super chat after we finish this one. Yeah, in a 1 QB, what do you mean you gave up 2 firsts for Kyler? That doesn't sound so good. Why did you do that? That's bad. That's really bad.
Especially when you're 1-2 and you just lost.
Yeah, I don't.
Your
RB1. This is a disaster. I mean, I wouldn't give up any firsts for Kyler.
No.
So no, disaster. Sorry, this is a disaster.
Sorry, Greenspoint Gridiron. That was.
You're sorry.
I'm apologizing because I feel like
I'm not sorry.
Lefty, thank you. 0-3 guy wanted his 23 first back, offered it for Swift and Jamal. He flamed me in the chat, sent back a screenshot of the definition of leverage.
Do I encourage this kind of behavior? Like, do I encourage this? Like, is this what I encourage from my patrons? Like, I encourage bet. No, I'm kidding. Of course I do.
Of
course I do. I encourage this type of behavior. I don't do it myself. This is why I'm retired, because I can't do that anymore. If I do this, then I get flamed on Twitter. That's why I don't play. I mean, I do play, but you don't know it's me. But like, I can't play as Tyler FF Creator anymore because even in Trade Addict 8, I played dirty. I don't care. This is the kind of thing I would so do. I would so do this.
Send the screenshot of the definition.
I love it.
You know what's sad is I still
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for telling everyone that. Yeah, of course. I encourage it. Bad behavior. Yeah. Thank you, Ed. You're really on my side today. No, I'm kidding. I love you. Ed is one of my favorite people.
Sadly enough, I feel like you could I feel like you could get more or should be able to get more because I think
with the injury you should be able to get
especially more. Yeah, and I think if it's really going to be the 101, like next year we're going to take Bijan Robinson over DeAndre Swift.
I love my Patreon. If you want to get in on all these shenanigans, like come give it a chance. I promise it's when I'm serious, I actually give pretty good fantasy advice, but the Discord is really fun. It really entertains me, some of the things my patrons get up to. I just love getting like a front row seat to all of this stuff. It's crazy how much I get to hear about.
Lefty, I want to hear all of it too.
Oh God, there's so
Keep it
much
coming in the chat. Lufty, give a 23 first, mid to late, and 20.
That's the link, by the way.
Nice. 23 first, mid to late, or 24 first for Brees Hall.
And
23 first for Brees Hall.
Oh, well, in a 1 QB, I would consider it. In a super flex, I think I'd have to pass on giving those picks. A little risky for me. But in a
1 QB, I would do it.
1 QB, I'd have to do it.
I would do it.
The risk is just lower. Not much risk.
But I keep the first. Would you sell if you had Hall in a super flex? Would you sell for 2 firsts like this?
No, probably not these two. No.
Yeah, I think this
or
is
223s maybe, but not this package.
One of those deals that you just keep whatever side you have.
Absolutely.
Football or American soccer?
What do you think?
American football is better than soccer in every facet of the game.
Careful, Addison.
Sorry, we just lost half our audience.
No, we didn't. But careful, the soccer people will come after you.
That's all right. I have Damian Pierce practice. Rob Z has Javonte, Brees, and ETN thinking to try to move ETN for Brian Robinson.
Nah. As much as I love Brian Robinson because he's going to retire Antonio Gibson from existence, which I've wanted for so long. I think the people want to know, what did Antonio Gibson do to Tyler? What did Antonio Gibson do to me? I'll never tell you. I'll never tell the people. No, I'm kidding. There is nothing. But no, don't do this. Keep ETN.
Keep ETN. Isaac, trade DK in a third for CD Lamb.
I would do that. Yeah, I'll take CD Lamb.
I would do that too. James, 12-team redraft, PPR. 0-3, wide receivers are not producing. Got DK, DJ Moore, Mooney, Elijah Moore. Yikes.
Well, that's too bad.
He has Aaron Jones and Mixon, was just offered Devontae from Mixon.
Well, Devontae hasn't been so good. Mixon hasn't been so good. Who's more likely to turn it around? I'll take Devontae. Take my chances on a full PPR on Devontae. Mixon doesn't really catch passes.
When you're 0-3 in a redraft and you're at this point, I think you just got to do something kind of drastic just to.
Well, I mean, you don't do something drastic just to do something drastic, but
no. But
to be honest with you, if you're this team and you pick DK, DJ Moore, Mixon, and Aaron Jones, you're probably done.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's a redraft. So
just go get Devontae.
It's probably over. That's why I don't really play a lot of redraft, because you get into this kind of 0-3 and you have a couple injuries. It's over.
On the bright side, maybe you now have one less league that you have to look at, and then you can focus more attention on your other.
That's what I love Dynasty, because there's always something you can do. You're never out. You're never out of it. There's always, and that's why I prefer Dynasty without a trade deadline, because then you're really in it every week. You have to pay attention. Something could happen. You never know.
Right.
I guess even with a trade deadline, you're still checking waivers, but that's not the same.
Oh yeah, here we go, buddy. Would you trade Pierce in a mid to late first for Javonte?
I would.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take Javonte there.
Yes, I would. In PPR Superflex, what would I have to add to a high 23 second to get Freiermuth?
Is it tight? If it's not tight, if it's a Superflex not tight end premium, then nothing. That's already too much. If it is tight end premium, then maybe a third.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I'd probably send a second for Fryer. Even if it was a higher second, I'd probably still do it. It'd be close. Half PPR, 12-team half PPR Superflex, trade Ramondre and James Cook and get ETN.
Ooh, that's like right on the line. I'll keep ETN barely.
I'm also taking ETN because I'm really hoping for James Cook, but boy.
No, of those two, Ramondre is the one I want, not Cook. But I'll still take ETN barely.
Get out from Kirk right now?
Kirk Cousins or Christian Kirk? And the answer, no matter who it is no.
No. Especially if it's Christian Kirk.
Well, it depends on what you can get. I mean, if you can turn Christian Kirk into Chris Godwin, I might consider doing it. If you can turn Christian Kirk into Elijah Moore, maybe you should do that. You can turn Christian Kirk into a 23 first plus.
Or just
so like I don't have an issue with moving on from Christian Kirk, but I don't have a problem with. I bet that my current value of Christian Kirk is actually higher than the market value. But if you can get even higher than that, I'm fine moving on.
He's not a get out player that you need to be selling now because he's overproduced.
The big pivot options in Dynasty for Christian Kirk are Chris Godwin, DJ Moore, and Treylon Burks. Those are all players I want more that I think you might actually be able to get, especially Treylon Burks.
Yeah, probably almost assuredly Treylon Burks.
Well, because those players all have upside. I think Christian Kirk is never going to be better than he is right now. I think that what we've seen is what he is as the best case. That's the ceiling. This is the best it's ever going to be.
To be fair, it's 20 PPR points a game.
Yeah, I know. But I think that as his ceiling is the best. And that's assuming he doesn't have down games, which always come.
Right. He's looked good, though. I'll give him credit. Carter, he's got Pitts in a 23 first. He got Pitts in 23 first last year for Kelsey. That's a W, right? Yes.
No, it was a terrible thing. It was a terrible thing. You did really poorly. I have to give you an F.
Jokes.
Sarcasm is dripping.
Jokes. That was a fantastic move, Carter. Yes.
Yeah.
Love
I gave it an A+.
Would you trade AJ Dillon again for Dameon Pierce?
No.
Dynasty.
I'll keep Dillon.
12 team. Dillon. Tony Paulo will never be starting running back without an injury. Agreed.
We're all in this together.
Leagues. Who's in 71 leagues?
Henry.
Oh, that's right. Henry's the man. I don't know how he does it. Tom Brady or a streamer rest of season? 12 team, one quarterback. Streamer. Tom Brady is a streamer right now.
Depends on who the streamer is.
Tom Brady or Jared Goff as streaming options. Jameis Winston.
This week?
That's what I mean.
I'll play Brady.
I'm sure you could find streamers out there that are just as good as Tom Brady. Tom
Brady.
I have
Brady at quarterback 9 this week. I'm comfortable playing him.
Mike Evans is back. Yeah,
that's why.
I'm all right with that. But Brady is not an every week plug and play guy. You should check the waiver wire for streamers.
No, I think if Brady has all of his weapons, he is. I think if he has all of his weapons, he is everybody back. If everyone's playing, I think he is still. Is going to be top 12 every week. But Brady minus everything is not top 12. But he just needs one of them between Evans and Godwin. He doesn't even need both to be pretty comfortably top 12.
To be fair, he's not even top 20 right now.
Right, because last game was horrible.
It was bad. Gary, 12 team, one quarterback, sent Hurts, Dotson, Miles Sanders, and Zach Ertz in a 25 first for Herbert, Pitts, Palmer, and a second, 2 seconds, 23 and 24.
Wow. All right. I'll go for.
I'll take the Herbert Pitts side.
Yeah, it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easily.
Because all that other stuff outside of Hurts is still not good enough for Pitts. Yep. Cal is not going to make it tonight.
Oh. Well, he doesn't know how long we're going. He doesn't know how far behind we are.
That's true. He's stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Thanks. Isaac, trade DK in a 23 third. Oh, yep. Yeah, we did that one.
We did this one already. Ask it once.
Who's the better asset right now, Waddle or Amon-Ra?
Waddle.
Waddle. As a rebuilding team with DeAndre Hopkins, should I move him before he comes back or wait until he pops off and then sell?
It's a choice between waiting until the week he comes back or after game 1. You take the risk you think. The week he's after week 6 going into week 7 is the time to put him on the block and see what you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you get a good offer, take it. If you don't, wait to see him play a game. But not now. Wait until the week he's going to come back would be the time to put him on the block.
Define good offer a little bit, because he said, is there a world where he's worth a first?
No, he'll never be worth a first again. He's already 30, so no. He will never be worth a first again.
Are you trading him for 1 second?
I mean, probably not. Depends. It depends on how high the second. If it's a really high second, maybe. Just a random late one, no.
Yeah. It probably.
We've also seen that the Arizona receiving core is not good. So I expect that. I think the real question is, does DeAndre Hopkins come back in as the 1 or as the 2? As it's either the 1 or the 2, clearly, because everyone else is irrelevant. When Hopkins comes back in, he's either going to be 1 or 2 compared to Hollywood Brown. It's just a question of which one. If he comes back in as the 1, then he's going to be worth around what Keenan Allen is worth now, or more.
Which still isn't a first.
Which still isn't a first. If he comes back in and he's the 2, he's going to be worth around, because he doesn't have Justin Herbert, he's going to be worth around less than that, what Brandon Cooks is worth now, which is a lot less. Also, I'm going to do something very dangerous and leave Addison alone. So you guys will have solo Addison for a couple of minutes.
Oh, no. Excellent. Now I get to talk about lefties, made up probability based on nothing but your feels that Hurts gets the bag and is a top 6 dynasty quarterback. Spoiler alert, he's already a top 6 dynasty quarterback. And Tyler can't say anything against that. Open 24 hours, 10 team, full PPR, 4 point per passing touchdown, Superflex, Dynasty, start 10. Current quarterbacks are Watson, Carr, Trubisky, Zach Wilson, and Lance. Mahomes or Jamar Chase and J.K. Dobbins in a 10 team Superflex, 4 point passing touchdown, start 10. I would take Jamar Chase. 10 team Superflex, Tyler would say the exact same thing, that in a 10 team Superflex that generally devalues the quarterback just a little bit, because every single team can have 3 starting quarterbacks. They might not all be great, but they can all have 3 because math. So I would take Jamar Chase straight up over Patrick Mahomes. And then it's just really nice the fact that you have Watson, Carr, Zach Wilson, and Trey Lance. So pretty solid quarterback room without Mahomes. And you get Jamar Chase and J.K. Dobbins, who's a nice RB2. We'll see what happens as he gets more integrated in the offense and stuff from his injury. So I like that. I'll take Chase. Do I even want to try to pronounce your name? I'm so sorry. Kayashwan. Sorry, that was horrible. Got offered Aaron Rodgers for Carson Wentz. 12 team Superflex thoughts. Currently 2-1 with what I think is a win now roster. If you're moving on from Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to do it straight up for a quarterback like Carson Wentz. I'd probably throw in guys like Jameis Winston, Jared Goff. I think you can throw Kenny Pickett kind of into that territory for dynasty purposes. I don't want to be trading those Aaron Rodgers for one of those guys straight up. I would like to get, even if it's just like a third, ideally I'd like to get a second on top of that. But I would keep Aaron Rodgers right now because Carson Wentz looked horrible. And I think that he has a chance to get replaced. Aaron Rodgers does not have a chance to get replaced. It's just all about how good can he be.
You don't think Jordan Love is going in?
No, I don't. This is Aaron Rodgers.
Did we get to the super chat?
Nope. I was actually just about to get to
I got it. Yeah. Trade Higgins for Najee and 1 QB. Other wide receivers are JJ, Chase, Lamb, and Mooney. Well, even though that's the case, I would much rather have Higgins. Did you know that Higgins has outscored Jamar Chase in the games they've played together?
Makes sense to me.
For fantasy. I'll take Higgins. I have Higgins at wide receiver 5 in Dynasty.
And Higgins could have had a lot better because he got.
I know he's had all this injuries. I love T. Higgins, so yeah.
Well, he got that. Did you see the touchdown that they didn't call?
I did. I thought that was a touchdown. I tweeted about it when it was live.
That was so dumb.
I will say, again, this goes in with what I've been saying. Focus on wide receivers early, but there's a corollary to that. A corollary to that is there's a point at which I kind of am just done with wide receivers. It's, speaking of, I don't know if we talked about it. Like Scott Connor always says this, and I always am like, I push back on it because my point is a lot farther down than him. But there comes a point for me. I don't know who the last wide receiver I think is relevant. It's pretty much like Curtis Samuel for me, wide receiver 61. After that, I pretty much don't want wide receivers. Like I focus on wide receivers for about the first half of a dynasty draft, and after that, I really don't want them.
Yeah. Which, I mean, makes sense because, I mean, if you're getting down to that far, you already have 5, 6 guys that are all
Okay, the reason is
2s
that
or 3s.
no matter what happens, wide receivers don't like gain as much value, but a running back can come in and be good if there's like one injury.
Right. That's why
so,
you stack up your running backs, dude.
I'm also big on stashing quarterbacks and superflex and tight ends pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, tight ends or whatever. Did you have any additional thoughts on this one?
No.
You agree with
It's
me?
a silly question. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 5 greater signs Carson Wentz. So no.
Hector said he loves the show, has learned so much from us. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Hector. Taylor Made, would you trade Akers for ? What would you trade Akers for ? Or wait until he has a good game and sell?
I mean, he's not really someone I'm looking to move.
It's the running back position sucks because it's like, who do you move Akers to? Like, what's the pivot option?
I don't know.
You can't. I don't think you can get to Saquon and Chubb right now, and it's gonna suck to kind of move down because you're moving down to like AJ Dillon, which I like, but then after that, it's just kind of a bunch of meh, you know. So Akers is in a weird middle spot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I would sell for a 23 first too. If you get a first, take it. Try hard, Zay. Barkley, Dalvin at running back, Evans, Jamar at wide receiver, Keenan at flex. Should he start Jamal over any of those guys this week? Please help.
Yeah, I'll start him over Keenan in the first game back.
I think Jamal is an RB2.
I have Jamal at 14.
There you go. That would be an RB2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd start Jamal over Keenan as well in the first game back. Cecil, Akers, Dobbins, and ETN don't look like they're bouncing back great from injury. Would you trade off RBs that get hurt like them in the future?
Yes, I mean, okay, so of these 3, there's nothing wrong with Travis Etienne. Just that the problem is that James Robinson is better, not that Travis Etienne is bad. Right. There's actually nothing wrong with Travis Etienne. So that one I wouldn't say is necessarily a rule of anything. The other 2, I mean, I've been saying get rid of J.K. Dobbins forever. So, I mean, I don't think I've learned anything because I was already doing it. Cam Akers, I'm not sure that Cam Akers is really much of an injury problem or he got hurt again. Because all of a sudden now they're ramping him up again. So I don't know. I don't think it was the injury because he looked fine. Wasn't the injury, or it was a new injury that he's getting better from. So no, I wouldn't. Nothing's really changed. I mean, I think I was too high on all running backs, so I think maybe I've learned that. But not. The answer to this question is no.
The problem with trying to trade them whenever they get hurt is their value instantaneously dips.
Yeah, so it doesn't. That's not going to help.
Right. It's almost better to hold and then wait until they. Once those videos of them running on a NFL field start popping up, once the hype kind of starts building back up, that's when you sell, I think, when these players.
And thanks to everyone who's come in from the Discord. I noticed after I just posted it, there was a little influx of people.
Oh,
if you're here, everybody, make sure to like the video. Make sure to leave comments in the chat or afterwards if you're watching it after, if you're not watching it live. And also leave a subscribe for Addison. It'll make him happy. And don't forget to hit the notifications bell to be notified about all of Addison's future content. Oh, there are other people too, but Addison is my favorite.
Justin.
Yeah, that's true. I did talk to him. We need to get him to do the tags for this because I've been doing the tags on my own side. We need to get him to do tags for this.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Tell him. It would make me very happy, Addison.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah. But yeah, if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, Justin Wright is one of the other people on the YouTube channel, and he's been around on Twitter a while. He's the guy in the pumpkin suit. I think that's pretty descriptive. I think there's only one guy in a pumpkin suit. What's Dobbins' rest of season outlook? Should I drop? Okay, so this is multiple questions. Let's start with the first one.
Getting the money's worth.
Hey, if you're gonna do a super chat, make it a good question. Why not? Because we're definitely gonna read it.
Thanks for
I think this is gonna be another week where we do not actually. By the way, I do think this is gonna be a week where we do not get to everything, especially with no Cal. So yeah, if you want your question answered immediately, the super chat is a great way to do that. Yeah, Dobbins versus season outlook. I don't know. I mean, not great, right? For this week, I have him ranked at running back 36 against Buffalo. You can't play him. Justice Hill outplayed him.
Freaking Justice Hill.
But that's the reality, right? If you watch the game, you look at the stat line, you look at who ran better. That's the reality of what happened. Isn't it?
No, I just think it's funny that it's Justice Hill because the dude's like a 5-year post hype sleeper. And
2019 4th round pick.
I think his rest of season outlook is just meh. We got to see it.
Well, give me a number.
Like RB
running back
number?
What? Yeah.
24.
It's way too high. Fantasy Pros consensus has him rest of season RB 34. I think that's closer to accurate.
Okay.
I'd say I'd probably have him a little higher than that. I'd probably have him around 30.
I think he was, I was about to say, I think he was where David Montgomery was, but I guess Montgomery wasn't that high either.
Yeah. But yeah, this week I have him at RB 36. So he's a no.
I am not starting him. I have him in one league, not by choice. I guess
it's against Buffalo. You can't play him.
You
saw what Miami's running backs did last week. Nothing.
Yeah. I'm literally not playing him until I see him actually do something.
I always say I'm going to miss Breece Hall's breakout game.
Yeah, because I'm not waiting.
But I'm going to miss the first one. I'm going to miss whichever one the first one is. And then maybe I don't get 3 bad games waiting for it in my lineup. J.K. Dobbins is the same, except I'm not confident it's coming. With Breece Hall, I am supremely confident that it's coming. It's going to happen. It's when, not if. With J.K. Dobbins, it's if. For me, it's if. It's not a guarantee. It's not a given. So yeah, I have him at RB 36. I can't play him this week.
Yeah.
Next, should I drop Everett for Conklin? No.
I keep Everett.
Conklin for me, I am worried that the Jets are getting a quarterback downgrade this week. Wilson is going in, and not good.
I am very curious on how much of this team's success and the fantasy producers' success was Joe Flacco.
I think it's a lot.
And I hope it's not a lot, but I think it is. I think I agree with you on that one. So yeah. Last one, trading CH in a third for a late first. That is.
I also like Gerald Everett. I mean, he had 6 targets last week. He just only caught 2 of them. No panic on Gerald Everett. He still had a big role.
Mm-hmm. Late first, easy for CH.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I'd play Everett over Conklin this week, but I've moved Conklin up to 13. I have Everett at 12. So just a hair ahead.
Was there another super chat that I see?
There is. I'm going to get to that.
Cool.
Last one. Don't want to clock up the chat. I mean, you can put in as many super chats as you want, for sure. What picked you out to Kamara for Najee? I don't want to trade for Najee. But I also don't want Kamara. So I guess I would take.
You're not adding a first?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if a pick is the way you're going.
Probably I'd try to add another player I don't want. Like, can I trade Alvin Kamara and
James Robinson?
James Robinson for Najee Harris, maybe. That's not a bad one. Or
could you sell high on Clyde? Apparently Clyde's getting late first.
No, he's not.
You can sell high on Clyde.
Yeah, I would if I could.
Kamara and I'm trying to think of like a wide receiver or something like that. Kamara and I can't even think of wide receivers. Mike Williams.
Sure. Take Najee.
Judy or Sutton?
Only Judy. Not Sutton.
McLaurin?
No.
Juju.
Sure. I don't like Juju.
Cool. Okay. That's where we're at. Yeah, I don't think it's a pick. I think it's a player. So hopefully we gave you enough of a roundabouts for that. Agent Solo, Gofford, Khalil Herbert, Dotson, and a 23 first and second for Russ and ETN. What do we
That's where
think?
we are, isn't it? It's got to be super flex, otherwise it's the other side
Yeah.
easily. I mean, Dotson and ETN are still pretty similar. I'd rather have Dotson. And then the other stuff, man. This is where we are. This is where we are. This is how far down we've come for Russell Wilson. I'm taking the package of picks. It's that bad. I'm going to have to take that side. This is how low.
I'll defer to you on that one.
Yeah. This is how low we've gone.
Isaiah.
Did you see my rant about Russell Wilson on my show?
No, I need to go check it out.
Yes, you do.
I do.
I said that Russell Wilson has his head so far up his own ass that he can't see anything. He claimed that the performance of the offense in the last game was good and that they were very close to succeeding in the way that they wanted. They're 20 universes away from succeeding in any definition. Their offense was putrid. It was terrible. There was nothing good about it. I don't know what offense he watched, what tape he watched. I think that I really do think that Russell Wilson is literally so obsessed with himself that he just thinks everything he does is good. And he doesn't see it. It's not good. It's not good. And I will say this because this is going to really twist the knife. Geno Smith has played better this season than Russell Wilson. If you didn't know their names and you looked at the two quarterbacks, you would think Geno Smith was a better quarterback. If you didn't know who they were, you didn't know who had the big contract, you didn't know their names, you would think Geno Smith is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. You would. The only reason that you think Russell Wilson has been better is because he's named Russell Wilson. It's the only reason. He has been absolutely awful. Awful in every way. Not as bad as Justin Fields, but awful. He has not been a top 20 quarterback in real life NFL this year. And he's not good for fantasy either. And he doesn't see it. So unless he gets his act together, it's going to be a big problem. Because if he thinks this is good, we're really not heading in a good direction.
They're averaging 14 points per game.
Yeah.
But they're 2-1.
But that's not because of him. They're winning in spite. The Bears are 2-1 too. And so are the Giants. Are those teams doing well? Are those offenses good? I agree with Eli Manning. I think that they should have paid the punter the big contract instead.
That was a good one. I like it.
It was really good. And, you know, Russell Wilson has suddenly become allergic to running the ball. He doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't run the ball. And he takes a lot of sacks. We already have 9 sacks. That's not so good. 3 sacks a game. I mean, he has as many sacks as rushing attempts. I thought, what is that? That's not good at all. He used to be able to run the ball. Now he can't do that. But he's good at taking sacks. He's very good at that one. And he's actually decreased the number of yards he's thrown in each game. It's gotten worse and worse and worse every week. And he thinks it's good. He thinks it's good. He watched the tape from the Sunday night game and thought it was good.
No.
He is delusional. And he is going to have a rude awakening very soon when someone is not taking his shit anymore. Because that's what's going to happen eventually. He's really... yeah, it's happened a couple times. He's really someone who has turned me against him. Like, it used to be one of my favorite players, but I'm really not a fan of Russell Wilson anymore.
Isaiah, would you trade Keenan for T. Higgins?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
T. Higgins is baller. You see the catch?
I see all the catches, Tyler.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Nobody sees all the catches.
Lufty gave Mike Williams got a 23 first and third. I'm in.
Yeah, I'll take it. Mike Williams was, despite no Keenan Allen, was no good in the last game. Herbert threw the ball 45 times. You could say he was injured, but he still threw it 45 times. Mike Williams did nothing at all. He's always going to be inconsistent, you know?
Alexander, how many wide receivers from your top 12 from last week finished in the top 12? Wasn't much different from our RB situation.
But that's not the only point. There's that. But then if you look at the yearly scoring, you said 10 wide receivers were outscoring the RB1.
Yeah, something like that.
Wide receivers are winning you leagues. Running backs are not winning you leagues. And all of these guys, I mean, Stephon Diggs this year has been fine. Joe Mixon has not been so good. It is really becoming a wide receiver league. I mean, that's what we have, you know?
5. Christian Kirk is like almost tied with Saquon too. So
that's insane. Yeah, I mean, you have 7 wide receivers averaging more than 20 points a game in PPR.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 running backs doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the running back 10 is averaging 15.6. Okay? The wide receiver 10, or the same wide receiver, you got to go all the way down outside the top 20 to get to the wide receiver that's averaging that.
The other problem too is that when you look at the wide receiver ones in fantasy right now, like your top 12, there are, you know, your Curtis Samuels in there. Christian Kirk is in there, who is not projected to be in there, but Diggs, Kupp, Waddle, Tyreek, AJ Brown, Hollywood, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams.
Yes, most
all
of
in your
those
top 12.
I mean, of those players, Diggs, Kupp, Amon-Ra, Waddle, Hill, Pittman, AJ Brown, Hollywood, Jefferson, and Adams. Those are currently the top 12.
Yeah, they're
all of them, but Kirk and Samuel, I had ranked inside my top 24. Whereas they didn't come from nowhere.
When you look at the running back position, the running back players inside the top 12 at the running back position that were not projected to be in there: James Robinson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert, Antonio Gibson. There's your 5 right there. And then you have Eckler is averaging 14 points a game. Christian McCaffrey's averaging 14 points a game. Barkley and Chubb are up there, but they were drafted as, you know, RB 7 or 8.
The thing is that you should be starting in every flex spot should be a wide receiver at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Javonte.
Like
13 points a game.
Unless,
13 points
unless you're playing, and I think this is something that's going to have to be considered. It actually doesn't matter how many wide receivers you have to start. It matters how many running backs you have to start. If you're in a league where you only have to start one running backs are not worth much. They're really not. Because you don't want to start any additional running backs past that one that you have to.
Yeah.
If you're in a league where you have to start 2 running backs, that changes things.
Yep. It's going to be an interesting offseason for sure to see how these dynasty values get changed. Because I feel like remember when we were in like the 0 RB kind of thing? And like, well, I mean, we weren't in an analyst, but like the 2015 era, 2016.
Yeah, that was before my time. But even when I started in 2018, I still think it was in the wide receiver heavy era. But there was one year where running backs really delivered. I think it was 2019.
I was going to say, basically,
it was 2019 where running backs really delivered.
When the 2017 class took off, that was it.
Yeah.
And then we got helped a little bit with 2020, but now we're in this weird dead area where the 2017 class is too old. The 19 class
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it just has to do with the fact that running backs, the NFL is moving away from workhorse backs.
Right. Trade away Addison's boy Khalil Herbert for a 24 first. Is he my boy?
Khalil Herbert would go in this week for sure.
But I would take a 24 first over him.
If Montgomery is not playing, but I would take the 24 first. Yeah, I have Khalil Herbert with no Montgomery ranked at RB12 this week.
Yeah, love it.
He's going to tear the Giants to shreds.
Yes, he is. 1 QB half.
And honestly, I think running back 12 might be too low. I think I could make a case for starting Khalil Herbert over Najee Harris this week, even against Najee Harris against the Jets.
Yes. I'm a Steelers fan. I would make that case for you easily.
Yeah. But let's see. Let's just see if Montgomery's out.
1 QB half PPR, Zeke and Keenan and Stafford for Justin Herbert and a late 23 first. Yes.
I'm going to take the 23 first.
That is so. I'm breaking my finger.
Yeah. I mean, Herbert's worth more than either Zeke or Keenan, even a 1 QB. And the first is worth more than the other 2 combined.
10-team Superflex start 9 half PPR, trying to replace DJ Moore. Some of the wide receivers on teams with losing records: Deontay, Sutton, Ayuk, Garrett Wilson, London. Would you target any of them, and at what price?
I mean, I don't know how you're going to get Garrett Wilson or London. Deontay seems to be a little undervalued to me.
I'd add a second to DJ to get Garrett Wilson in London. I'm all for
that's going to get snap declined.
That's all right. I'm all for attempting it. I'll throw things at the wall and see.
You cannot play DJ Moore, by the way. Consensus still has DJ Moore at wide receiver 29 or so. I have him at wide receiver 37 this week. Even against Arizona, I'm not playing it.
Which is why I try throwing a second. I try it. Just see what happens. They'll just say no.
Yeah, I'm not super in on Garrett Wilson this week. I have him at 30. But London is a good play this week. And Cortland Sutton, I have at 13. Very good play.
Yep.
Against Vegas.
I would go for Deontay Wilson in London. You'd have to add to Sutton and Ayuk to still get to DJ Moore.
Sutton does also concern me because Russ has been bad. And if Judy can get his act together at all, Sutton is going to struggle for consistency.
Right.
But Judy hasn't gotten his act together.
Dalvin and Barkley.
We did this one already.
Oh, yes. Zeke and Keenan Allen for Swift.
Swift easily.
Yep. Should we be concerned about Kyler Murray?
Yes.
Very.
It is what it is.
It's going to be hard to move off of him, but if you can, go try to get Jalen Hurts.
Kyler Murray's not even that, it's not old.
No, it's just Call of Duty drops every year, so it's going to be a problem.
I know. And now he has his contract, so they're stuck with him.
Dynasty Life traded away DK for Ayuk in an early to mid 23 first.
I'm fine with that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's early, but I like that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I like that a lot. Would you trade Dylan Dobbs in a 23 third for Pierce in a mid to late first?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yep.
Someone's a little obsessed with Dobbs, I think, there.
Lefty is full leg punting running backs all the way to Jupiter.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think I don't think this is a 1 year aberration. I think this is the way we've been going over the last 5 or 6 years. And I think NFL teams want to have committee backfields. They want to pass more, run less. So I think that I think this is a permanent change. I don't think we're going to go back to running the ball more.
There's going to be maybe 1 or 2 outlier a year.
Right, but I mean,
where
generally,
right,
I think
and then the rest of it.
This change is permanent, not temporary. Yep. The analytics are very clear that passing the ball more is a better move.
I've come to realize there's no point in having a tight end not named Andrews or Pitts. It's so easy to get tight end production for when you can compete. Look how cheap Everett Ertz gives Higbee are. I mean, honestly, if you're trying to compete and you have Kyle Pitts, you ain't competing.
He was fine this week.
He had 12 points, dude.
He was fine. Let's relax.
Mark Andrews is the tight end 1 in Dynasty.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
No, I don't think so.
And he has been this entire summer.
No.
12-team 1 quarterback Dynasty. Someone offered me what looks to be an early 23 second for Darnell Mooney.
I'll take the second.
I'll take the second.
Yeah, it might be just time to move on from Darnell Mooney.
You're gonna get
even my current ranking of Darnell Mooney feels too high.
You're gonna get a solid
42,
player.
And that feels too high.
Yeah, you're gonna get a solid player with that 23 second.
Yeah, he's someone who's just moving down my ranks. I really don't want any part of him.
Amon Ra for a 23 second and 24 first.
Amon Ra.
Amon Ra. Is Swift still considered a staple in Dynasty for a team, or time to sell him after a big game from injury?
It's too late. Now that he's injured, you probably have to just hang on and wait for him to come back.
DeAndre Swift is one of the few running backs that I actually feel good about having in my roster right now.
Yeah, I still am at running back 3 in Dynasty.
Yep. Wilson and Michael Carter, along with the 24 first and fourth for Hollywood, Pierce, and Dobbs.
Wilson with the first.
Yep. Yeah. I take Wilson over Hollywood in the first over the rest of that.
Yeah.
With the RB landscape, is it wise to trade off Jonathan Taylor this season for value, even if you're contending?
What can you get? Yes, but what is that going to net you?
Can you trade Jonathan Taylor for AJ Brown?
Maybe, but I want AJ Brown plus.
Isn't that so sad that we were taking JT up there with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson? And
It is sad. Yeah, it was
now, boy,
mighty have fallen.
JT was not. He was a sell for me all off season too.
Yeah, well,
Was not there.
Yeah, I think the most likely is if I could trade JT for AJ Brown in a second, maybe I would just do that.
Waddle in a second.
Yeah, same thing.
Pittman, no, Lamb in a second.
Lamb in a second's not enough.
Higgins in a second.
Not enough.
Okay. Hopefully some ideas. Is that
Waddle
chat?
and Brown, I'm more confident in their production than I am with Lamb or Higgins.
Do I see super chat? Yeah.
Also, AJ Brown is elite. And I know
he's fantastic.
Yeah, he's elite. Whereas like T. Higgins, not sure. T. Higgins is not elite.
Yeah. The problem with T. Higgins is he'll never command an elite target share with Jamar Chase.
Yeah, but it's a talent thing as well. I mean, AJ Brown is elite and T. Higgins is
very good.
Very good. Yeah, very good. I'm not sure if he's elite. He's very good in 23 with Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. So that's the recipe for a very high dynasty ranking. But elite, I don't think he qualifies.
Do you have a positive outlook on any of the following? Gainwell, Sermon, Chark, Mackenzie Hardman, Justin Ross?
No.
None
of them.
Gainwell, I think, is relatively interesting.
No, he isn't. If you don't even want the starter on that team, why do you want the backup? No, I don't want Gainwell at all. What are you hoping for? Miles Sanders goes down and then Gainwell is, okay, now he's RB30. Still can't play him. So, no. Of these, I guess Chark is the one I have ranked the highest because Chark has actually looked pretty good.
I think Mackenzie has potential. It's just going to be hard to predict when that's going to come.
Chark has looked pretty good, and I think Chark is, I don't know. Maybe if he gets the same kind of deal on a better team.
Yeah.
He's actually looked pretty good.
Chark's going to go down whenever Jameson Williams comes back. But then, like you said, hopefully with him being on a one-year deal, he can pick a better team next year.
But he's looked good, like I said.
Mm-hmm. Justin Ross,
yeah. No, not that one. This is even better, I think, than the last discussion of these players.
Pearson in the first. Yeah,
easily.
AJ Brown are 224 firsts and Treylon Burks.
I love AJ Brown. This is I mean, they're 24, but Treylon Burks is not worth nothing.
This is 324 firsts for AJ Brown.
Pretty much, yeah. Treylon Burks is worth around a 24 first. I'm going to lean on the package side. It is close. I'm going to lean that way.
I really like AJ Brown, though.
I do, too. But I'm going to lean the other way.
Start sit Brady or Tannehill?
Brady easily. Tannehill. You can never play Ryan Tannehill. I have Ryan Tannehill this week at 24. I don't understand why anyone wants to play him.
Yep, with it.
Indianapolis shut down Kansas City. You want to play Ryan Tannehill? I don't know. No, thank you.
Trade Devonta Smith for Justin Fields and Superflex. If not Fields, what sort of value would you need in terms of picks?
I think I have to, just based on what quarterbacks are worth, but I'm grinning and bearing it.
Yeah, I feel like this is like when you try to trade from a push pin to a house. This is like you have to do this to just trade up a little bit.
I think you have to, but I don't want to.
I would immediately be trying to flip Fields.
So would
I think Fields is worth more than Devonta Smith.
He is, yeah.
Is this a good trade? Aaron Jones, DJ Moore, and Antonio Gibson for Javonte, DK, and Devin Singletary. If
yes,
you're
it
getting
is.
Javonte, yes,
yeah, it's such a good trade. I mean, it's a very good trade.
See, Steve, he agrees with me.
I don't agree with him.
I love smelling.
I think coffee tastes good.
No,
it really does.
Rebuilding team probably 2 years out from competing. Should I view Stevenson as a building piece or a trade asset?
Nah, he's a trade asset.
Trade asset.
Yeah, he's not a building. He's not a cornerstone piece for me.
Would you take Stevenson into the offseason in the hopes that his price increases because Damian Harris walks?
No, I'm not playing games.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
It gets into people's heads.
No, running backs are always worth more in season when people need them. Now's your chance.
Would you send Kamara in a 23 second for Swift? Yes.
Yes, I would.
Easy. Goddard and Ayuk for Waller and Singletary and Hines?
Goddard and Ayuk.
Goddard and Ayuk.
Yeah, sure.
Is Goddard over Waller for you in Dynasty?
No. Goddard hasn't done much of anything.
I think it's getting closer.
I mean, if that you mean that they're both moving down, sure.
I mean, Goddard's better than TJ Hawkinson, so.
Is he?
Yes.
Yes.
They are. Darren Waller has 34 fantasy points, and Dallas Goedert has 33.8.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure.
Dynasty Superflex 12 team. Brees and Hamler or Olave and Pittman?
It's like Hamler matters.
Olave.
I'll take Olave and Pittman.
How far is Waddle from Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase? Willing to move 23 first and Dotson for him?
No. Not willing.
I'm keeping the first.
Yeah, keeping the first and Dotson.
You're moving those first. You're moving that package for Jefferson and Chase, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Who are both younger than Waddle, by the way.
10 team, 2 QB, PPR, start 10, rebuilding. Pittman or Pickens, Dobbs, and a 23 first. Ooh,
well, this is not bad. I mean, it's two decent players and a 23 first for Pittman. Very reasonable. Yeah, if you're rebuilding, it's a 10 team, the first. I mean, unless you're sure this is going to be a late first, I would take the package side. Wide receivers are just not worth that much. Like, I think what I'm saying about the top of drafts is very flat compared to 23 first. 23 first are worth a lot. And wide receivers, I like them all over running backs, but any particular one is not worth that much.
Because there's so many, and they're all very
a lot of them. There's a lot to choose from, but I just don't want the running backs either.
Right.
I'm just saying the top of the draft is very flat. So
I think this is an easy way to just build for the future.
I agree.
12 team PPR, trade Garrett Wilson in a late first and second for Tyreek and Michael Thomas.
No. Garrett Wilson's worth more than Tyreek.
Yep.
And the picks are worth more than Thomas. So no.
Easy. Yeah. Trying to get Drake London. What would you be willing to give up to get him?
I think you missed your chance on all of these guys. Treylon Burks, you still have the window, so still open. But on Treylon Burks or Drake London, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
DJ Moore in a second.
That's not going to happen.
I'm just saying to try it. They said that
you can try it, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, maybe Hollywood Brown straight up because he had a big game. I'd much rather have Drake London long term.
Deontay in a second.
Yeah, I'd pay that barely.
Godwin in a second.
Yeah, definitely. I prefer Deontay over Godwin.
Okay. James Robinson and Godwin or a 23 first, second, third, mid to late. I'll take the picks.
If it's a super flex, I feel like I have to take the 23 first. It's just worth so much more than anything else. If it's a 1 QB, this is suddenly more appealing. Actually, a lot more appealing.
Yeah.
But I'll still probably go with the picks. But if it's mid to late in a 1 QB, I could go for Robinson and Godwin. Chris
says, hey, guys.
What's up?
Is that Deontay? I think that's Deontay. I think so. 1 QB, half PPR, 2 low to mid 23 first or Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Chase is
ads, especially in 1 QB. Man. Bateman, Elijah Moore, Gabe Davis. Rank them.
Bateman, Moore, Gabe Davis.
More Bateman, Davis. I'm not. I used to be a Bateman guy. Not anymore. Y'all.
I'm not really a Bateman or a Moore guy, but it's just that they're young, so they're holding on to value.
Noah, what's up, man? I help him out in the DMs. He's awesome.
You're such a nice guy, Addison.
Appreciate it, Noah. Thank you. You're 0-3, had the most points against you, but top 3 in max points for. Is that potential points?
I believe so. Or, yeah, max points for is potential points. the maximum points you could have scored.
Right. A few decent pieces in place. What'd you do? Asking for a really cool, super good looking friend.
Oh, so Addison.
Hey, because I am also probably most likely to be 0-3.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Productive struggle. I mean, I don't know. This is so vague. Like,
the problem with using the potential points game is you're assuming that you're going to make better start sit decisions moving forward.
And also that they were decisions you could have actually made. Like,
right.
I think I judge the team more based on the points you actually scored.
Right.
But yeah.
But
you do have the most against you, and that means that you've been unlucky.
Yeah. Give it another week. See if you go 0-4, it's time to ship some pieces off. Because that's going to be hard just to come back from in general, even to make the playoffs. BJ asks the biggest buy at every position. Guys that have started off slow but will kill it later in the season.
Okay.
Quarterback.
Let me look. Quarterback. I'm trying to think of anyone, really. I mean, Kyler Murray, I guess. Because Kyler Murray, I still value. And there are some people who are just totally done. So Kyler Murray for me at quarterback. Because there really is no one else. Dak Prescott, I guess, too. Running back, Breece Hall, of course, is the big one, I would say. Wide receiver.
I like AJ Dillon.
Yeah. Wide receiver, I'd say Elijah Moore.
Yep, that's who came to mind for me.
Is on my list. DJ Moore if it's really low, but you're looking toward, this is not answering the question. That's a buy, but not someone who's going to kill it later in the season. That's someone you're buying for the talent for next year. In DJ Moore. George Pickens is a buy low for me, and that could be someone who can kill it later this year. Jameson Williams is still out there. Don't forget about him.
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave is not a buy low. Chris Olave has been excellent and has been a target monster.
They didn't say buy low. I just said biggest buy.
Yeah, but he hasn't started. But he's not even a buy anymore. He's priced so high that I think I'm not sure he's even a buy.
Zay Jones.
I think it's too late. And then Kyle Pitts.
Can I say Wandale?
But sure. I mean, I've been saying that the whole time, though.
Yeah, but Wandale.
Yes,
Shepard
Wandale for sure.
And then
Alec Pierce is also. Alec Pierce is one. I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but he's someone I believe in who's been half decent, who, is starting to come on.
My tight end would be Tyler Higbee.
But he hasn't started off slow. That's a buy, but not answering the question.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get buys in here.
To the buy that answers the question is Kyle Pitts. If you want another buy that doesn't necessarily answer the question, but it's still a buy for me, is Trey McBride.
Yeah.
I haven't just given up on Trey McBride because he hasn't done anything in the first 3 games since rookie year.
I'd send a feeler out on Freiermuth as well.
Freiermuth hasn't been bad.
Again, just buys though.
I'm not sure his price. I actually think people think he's been better than he has. I'm not sure his price is that low. I'm not sure he's a buy. Dallas Goedert is the one, or TJ Hawkinson are more likely to me because I actually think they'll cost less.
I mean, if that's the case, then sure.
Yeah, but I think they'll cost less.
I think Freiermuth still costs less, but
I don't agree with you. I think Hawkinson costs the least of the 3 for sure.
I agree with you on that.
And he's the one I like the most and costs the least. So he'd be the one I would be buying.
Is Daniel Bellinger on that list for you?
Oh, I've been saying to add him for an eternity. I had him ranked in my top 200 before the season started. I was all in on him. Addison has disappeared because I was so right that he couldn't stand being on the show with me. But no, I've been talking about Daniel Bellinger for a while. I tweeted about him during the game. He had a big role after Sterling Shepard he'll have a bigger role with Sterling Shepard, but he was on the field anyway. He was playing as the starter from week 1. A round 4 rookie tight end playing as the starter from week 1. That's a very good sign. He's someone I've been talking about for a long time. And someone in my Patreon, if you were in my Patreon, you might have added him weeks ago, before the season even started. So I've been in on him for a very, very long time. And I would say you can even potentially start him this week. I have him at tight. I have him ranked in weekly ahead of Alberto and Noah Fant. I have him at tight end 23 for the week. So in a desperation situation, you can put him in. against
That's why I'm
Chicago.
wondering. Like, if he's a buy from people who don't really realize what they have, like if you could
He's
just
not
send
a buy. He's still on waivers, and you can pick him up. We're not even talking about buying him. We're talking about adding him.
Yeah, but I mean, if
I
he's already
guarantee you,
rostered,
what percentage of the people listening to this show, even listening to this show, know who Daniel Bellinger is? Half listening to this
70.
show,
I'll give
probably
70.
70. Yeah, but that still means that 30% of the people, forget everyone in your league, 30% of the people listening to this show don't know who Daniel Bellinger is.
Yeah.
So he could still be on your waiver wire.
If he's not in a waiver wire, I'd still throw a third or fourth at him. Just see if
I'm not going to throw a third at him, but a fourth maybe. It's not how you get him, though. You sneak him into a different deal. You're doing a completely unrelated deal, and you just sneak him in there. That's how you get him. It's not try to trade for him directly. If you try to trade for him directly, people realize what's up.
Yeah, and they'll be like, wait, why is this guy trying to trade for Daniel Bellinger?
But I'd rather have Daniel Bellinger over Isaiah Likely.
Yeah,
who
100%
lost
agree.
work this week.
I agree. That Isaiah Likely was never, that was weird.
No, he looks decent, but Daniel Bellinger is the starter, whereas Isaiah Likely is now third string behind Josh Oliver.
12-team PPR Superflex. Choose a side between all of that.
This is too complicated. But
I'm taking the top side.
I think it has to be. Yeah, the top side just has much better players.
I'm taking the quarterbacks over the quarterbacks. I'm taking Barkley over Kamara. I'm taking Lamb over A-Rob.
Hopkins and A-Rob don't matter. I'd rather have
Lamb
Lamb over Moore, Barkley over Kamara.
Everything on the top
side. And then Lawrence and Watson are about the same. Russ is better than Lance, but not enough to make up the difference on the Barkley and Lamb parts. So, top side.
All right, I'm going to try and see if I can get through some ones that we haven't.
Yeah, at this point, if you want your question to be answered for sure, I would suggest the super chat, because Addison, you can tell that I'm starting to tire, and Addison is.
But a lot of these questions too, like in some way, shape, or form tonight, we've answered some of these. Like this one,
yeah, I struggle with this on my own show. Is often going through the same topics over and over again.
What's Kelsey's value right now in Superflex non-tight end premium dynasty?
You giving a random 23 first for Kelsey? Because I'm not.
I would take the first.
I'd take the first. Yeah.
Yeah, I would take the first.
So
I feel like you can still get a first for him.
But so take it. First.
Give Lance 23 first and 2 seconds for Watson.
For Deshaun Watson? No. I think I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah,
I'll take Lance in the picks. If you removed the 23 first, I would take Watson.
Agreed.
And I still don't. For me, it's kind of like, I don't really want to have Watson on my team. I don't really care for him. As we all know, I dislike him. I have so few teams. I'm probably not going to have a dynasty team with Deshaun Watson on there because that wouldn't be fun for me. And, if you feel that way, that's totally fine. But I assume that if you're asking, you're fine with acquiring him. So I'll give you advice based on that. But I'm not going to go for him personally.
23 first or James Robinson in a second.
23 first.
Kyle started 3-0, but he needs help at running back. Who should he target?
Leonard Fournette. If you want someone on the cheap, Leonard Fournette is the man. If you need a stopgap right now, Jamal Williams.
Yep. I'd throw Kareem Hunt in there.
Kareem Hunt is a good one. Yeah. Kareem Hunt and maybe James Robinson if people don't believe yet.
And Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert might be too expensive for what he's actually going to deliver.
Pricey. Could you get Jeff Wilson cheaper?
Yeah, that's
you get maybe another month of him.
I just think that Khalil Herbert is going to be expensive for what he's actually going to deliver.
Okay, I can agree on
Jamal Williams is a better deal. You might be able to turn 1/3 into Jamal Williams and Jeff Wilson.
Possibly.
In some leagues.
I think this is a fantastic question.
Should we be concerned about using a 23 first to draft a running back? Seems like teams are moving away from workhorses. Now remember that Jonathan Taylor has not necessarily been great, but he's still been being used as a workhorse. Christian McCaffrey has not been great, but it's not the usage that's the problem. Saquon Barkley has been good, and the usage has been similar to the other two. The only issue is that for some reason he's scored, despite the fact that the Giants are bad. Saquon Barkley has been the one of those that scored. So if you're one of those three, you're used as a workhorse, and Bijan Robinson is on that level. So using a first to draft Bijan Robinson, no concern. Using a first to draft, a mid-tier, I think we're never gonna make the James Cook mistake again. The Trey Sermon, the Keyshawn Vaughn, that mistake that we've made over and over and over and over and over.
You say that, but we've made that mistake over and over and
Who's
over.
we?
No,
Who's we?
I'm with you.
We has not made that mistake.
I'm with you.
We made that mistake once with Keyshawn Vaughn and then learned our lesson. We will not make that mistake again. I'm not a part of that we.
I'm not part of the we either. I'm just saying that people make
like it when I get heated
every single year.
Yes, but I will prevent us.
I think rephrase. Most second round running backs will still be worth a first round pick. It's going to be the second round running backs who we already know should have been in that range,
Whatever.
I think
we're not going to draft them then.
You're not going to if 2023 is another 2020, we had Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Javonte Williams, all round 2.
If they're all worthy of being drafted in that area, then sure. But how many running backs in the 23 class are really worth that?
Probably, again, another 3.
3. Okay, so 3 is fine.
Yeah.
You just don't draft the Keyshawn Vaughn. You know who that is.
Yes.
It's the one who's not a premium prospect and then who is vaulted up later based on landing spot. Trey Sermon was the next one.
Yep.
Just don't draft that guy. Stick to the guys who were premium prospects from the beginning. In this case, that's what? Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Zach Evans.
I think Bigsby is on the line. Yep. There's 3. Where are we at?
I mean, DLF's Debbie rankings has Zach Evans well ahead of Tank Bigsby.
Right. I just think Bigsby is the line.
So you would include Bigsby in there, maybe?
For now.
Yeah, I mean, a possibility of being in there. I mean, Isaiah Spiller was in there, and then he wasn't.
Yikes.
Healthy scratch, Isaiah Spiller, by the way.
Yeah.
Man,
that one sucked. Trade CEH and Freiermuth for Akers and Patterson. I could counter the offer with Godwin or ETN instead of Akers.
Redraft. Sure. Oh, in redraft, I want Patterson.
Yes.
Yeah, no need to counter. Just take Patterson.
Take Patterson and Akers.
Yeah, no need to
counter.
That's funny.
I jokingly asked him to comment about J.K. Dobbins after his ACL injury. Recovery sucks for a year. Bye for 2023. Love it. I just offered Aaron Jones for Trevor Lawrence in Dynasty, not necessarily in a win now situation. Just do I take it?
I mean, if it's 1 QB, Aaron Jones is worth more.
Yes.
If it's super flex, Trevor Lawrence is worth 5 times as much.
It is 1 quarterback and Aaron Jones. Ed said take Aaron Jones. Ed's out here answering questions in the chat, and it's amazing.
Yes, Ed's just reading off my Patreon rankings and telling you the answer from there.
Kamara and Akers for Najee?
I do love Ed, though. Najee.
Agreed. 16-team Superflex, Gino, Najee, mid-23 first, or Russ and Chubb?
16-team Superflex. That changes everything. 16-team Superflex, Russ is worth significantly more than Najee.
And if that mid-first slides anywhere closer to the back.
Yeah, and the mid-first is worth a lot less because it's a 16-team. I'll have to go with Russ.
I'm taking Russ and Chubb.
Yeah, and a 16-team Superflex, that's just the way the game is played.
James Robinson or David Montgomery?
James Robinson.
Dobbs and what equals Kirk?
David Montgomery, there is a possibility that Khalil Herbert keeps that job. Yeah. I think it's unlikely because Khalil Herbert has never beaten out David Montgomery. Never. The only times he's gotten in is injury, and every other time David Montgomery's been the workhorse under both coaching staffs. But
Montgomery is a free agent.
Is there a possibility that right? But then someone else is coming in.
Depends on how well Khalil Herbert plays.
James Robinson's the better player. Go with James Robinson. He's younger, better player. James Robinson.
Dobbs plus what equals Kirk?
Dobbs in a second, I think almost exactly equals Kirk.
Love it. Should I trade Saquon or Ramondre for Dalvin Cook and AJ Brown?
If it's Dalvin Cook,
yes.
Then yes. If it's James Cook, no. It's more interesting. But I would still take AJ Brown.
Wait, did I say no? I meant yes.
Well, if it's Dalvin Cook, it's obviously AJ Brown's side. If it's James Cook, then I still think it's the AJ Brown side, but that's a more reasonable trade.
Yes. Okay, now we're in. Should we be nervous about drafting
He
running back
answered
in
this
23?
in the super chat, and I said not really.
Yeah.
I think I said be nervous of the late first running backs, but not of the top guys. You still want Christian McCaffrey. You still want John.
JT for Swift and Gabe Davis, or JT for Swift and James Robinson?
Oh, the other thing about running back versus wide receiver in the class is once they hit, the wide receiver sticks a lot better than the running back. But before they hit, it's actually easier to predict the running back being good. The wide receiver is harder. You have highly drafted wide receivers, great prospects who just totally whiff. Whereas at running back, that's less common.
Yep.
Like Saquon Barkley type running back prospect doesn't miss, like ever. Like Ezekiel Elliott. Like your worst case scenario, your floor is Leonard Fournette. And has that been so bad? If you drafted Leonard Fournette at the 101 and this is what you've gotten, is that really a crisis? You're crying over it?
No, you've had like 3 or 4 RB1 seasons.
Yeah, you're not crying over it. So like that's your floor. Whereas a wide receiver can just totally whiff, even a Sterling prospect. So that's why we still might draft running backs at the top, but in the middle, you go back to wide receivers because the wide receiver hit rate more does like this, and the running back hit rate is like that.
Yep.
Falls off a cliff.
To
answer this question,
Swift and Gabe Davis.
And not for me. I'm going to take JT both times. Swift, I just don't have the same confidence. JT, confident, is workhorse. Swift never seems to be able to stay on the field. You know, he can't stay on the field. 3 years now, another injury. We have 3 years straight of an injury. At some point, you have to say, why can't he stay on the field? He didn't stay on the field in 2020. He didn't stay on the field in 2021. And now we have a new problem. 2 problems, by the way. 2 problems. The shoulder and the ankle. 2 problems. And we're limiting his workload even when he was in the game. So for me, this is too big of a downgrade. And I don't dislike DeAndre Swift. I'm just saying I'm moving away from all these running backs outside of a very select few. And JT, for me, is the only young one who's in that very select few. So I'll have to stick with JT in both offers.
I will say if you're the package side trading for JT, I want to move Swift and James Robinson.
You got to get more than this, though. I think you can still get more, especially with Swift's injury. You can get more. I think you can get, instead of Swift and Gabe Davis, how about Swift and Cortland Sutton would be better? At least you get someone else who's producing a little more right now. Or maybe Swift and Elijah Moore. How about that? Elijah Moore, a buy low on Elijah Moore, something better than Gabe Davis. I just think this is a little subpar. It's not good enough. And another super chat. Thank you. Really helpful. Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I try my best. I try my best to be entertaining and helpful. Sometimes I try not to sacrifice. I try to really balance that. I try not to sacrifice too much of one for the other. Because I could read boring and read off my, that was about to use a bad word there. Read off my spreadsheet and just read the answer, but nobody wants that. Why bother to tune into the show then? But if I was only entertainment and offered no analysis, then, anybody can do that.
Twitter.
Yeah, anyone can do that. So it takes someone rare to be able to do both.
Give Kirk and 2 first for Justin Jefferson?
I think I would. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll take Justin Jefferson.
I would. It's Justin Jefferson.
I just feel like Justin Jefferson should carry more value than that. And I've seen some people ask me, should I start Justin Jefferson this week? Like legitimately asking, should I start Justin Jefferson, as if they're not going to start him. For some reason.
There's also 10-team 1 quarterback. So yes,
I'll definitely take Jefferson. But like people were legitimately asking me, should I start Justin Jefferson? I'm like, who else do you have? I mean, what's the other? I have a wide receiver 2 this week. So I think I'm going to start him even after a couple bad games. He's an elite wide receiver. I'm not just going to bench him because he's in a slump.
Christian Kirk or late 23 first. He's 2-1, but not championship because he lost.
We've answered a lot of Kirk versus 23 first with 23 first, and it's the same question, the same answer here.
Just traded Connor and Patterson for Jonathan Taylor. Holy crap.
Congratulations. That is ridiculous. Jonathan Taylor easily.
Is Gesicki worth buying in Dynasty?
No. Gesicki is interesting to me because I mentioned this on my show yesterday. So essentially, there's 3 tight ends that I kind of feel like are the same. Gesicki, Kmet, and Fant. There's nothing wrong with any of the 3 of them. Cole Kmet did not become bad this year. There's nothing wrong with Mike Gesicki. He didn't become a bad player. Noah Fant didn't become bad when he was traded to Seattle. But they're in situations where they just are so buried in a terrible offense that doesn't use the, or in Gesicki's case, an offense that doesn't use him. In Fant's case, a bad offense that doesn't use him. And in Komet's case, just a disaster area. They're buried in situations that suck. But the reason why Gesicki is the one I like the most is because he's the closest to leaving that situation. He's on the franchise tag. Miami obviously hates him, so he's not coming back. And, you know, he could have a Gerald. He could be the next Gerald Everett, someone who just signed somewhere better. And I think Gesicki's even better than Gerald Everett. So I haven't given up on Gesicki.
Would you trade like Fant for him?
I'd rather have Gesicki because he's closer to leaving. The Seahawks picked up Fant's 5th-year option, so they has another whole year of this. Okay. In Pete Carroll's offense. And Will Disley obsessed Pete Carroll.
Jesse, happy Taco Tuesday, guys. 10-team Superflex PPR. Akers and Irv Smith for Austin Eckler. Just traded for Kelsey the other day, and his team is competing.
I'll take Eckler, but it's not like I want Eckler.
I'll take Eckler.
Take Eckler, I suppose.
In tight end premium, is McBride worth a second? Yes.
No.
I mean, I would pay a second for Trey McBride. Let me say it.
I wouldn't.
You would not pay a second for McBride?
No.
Even in tight end premium?
No, he hasn't done anything to be worth it. No. I mean, even in tight end premium this year, he went around 18 or 19 overall, and he's only been horrible. So you think he's gained value in a better class? No. So I'm not paying it. Right? I mean, why, if he went at 18 or 19 overall, why would I now pay a 23 second in a better class? I don't think I'm going to do that because he's lost value. He's lost a significant amount of value. Also,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Andre Francois.
Thank you.
10-team
$20 super chat. I don't know if we've.
We had one last week.
We had one, but yeah, the 20 I think has been the highest we've ever gotten. There's been a few times, so thank you.
Last week was I think the first one. Jesus.
First in a while, yeah.
Thank you.
There were a few in the old days.
10-team Superflex projected to finish bottom half this year. His QBs are Kyler, Russ, Fields, Brees, Kenneth Walker, Dylan, Ramondre at running back, Lamb, Pittman, Godwin, Hollywood, Davis at wide receiver. He's worried about quarterbacks. Tip for competing next year.
I'm not that worried about it. I mean, you have Kyler is still good. You have Russ, who is, I mean, he's bad, but
can be good.
Yeah, I mean, he's still going to be a quarterback too. And then Fields, yeah, I am a little worried, but you know, what are you going to do? You have Brees, that's good. You have Lamb, Pittman, that's a good. Hollywood. Good. Davis is a good up and coming. Godwin will bounce back when he gets back from injury. Yeah, I mean, in terms of competing next year, I would say, well, what moves would you really suggest?
I was trying to see if I was trying to think of pivot options.
You might be able to package Dylan or Ramondre with a quarterback to get a better one.
Sure.
Could you package Dylan with Russ to get Dak if you're more focused on next year? Actually, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Why not target Dak now while he's injured? Because I trust Dak a lot more next year than Russ or Fields. Target Dak while he's injured, while the value is down. Maybe you can get him, and maybe that'll give you more stability for next year. I actually like that. So that's my suggested offer. Try Russ and Ramondre first. But if that doesn't go through, I'm fine paying Russ and Dylan for Dak.
I was gonna say, because then if you can get Russ and Ramondre done, you could try the same thing with Fields and AJ Dillon, I think.
Yeah, you could try that. Yeah.
To where you could bump them up to
Dak. People don't like Dak. People are really out on Dak.
Yeah, but people don't like Justin Fields either. I'm trying to think of who Fields and
Russ has a lot more built up goodwill than Fields.
Yeah.
So yeah, Russ would be the one I would try to move.
Do you think you could still do Fields and Dillon for Trevor Lawrence?
No one's giving you Trevor Lawrence.
What about Tua? No.
Maybe for Tua. They
could see it as a sell. What about Carr? Would you do that for Carr?
No.
Okay.
I still have Fields above Carr. Carr has been just okay. Carr's not been very good.
Yeah, I'm just safer options,
Carr is safer in some ways.
Those would be that would be the way to go, I think, for sure.
Yeah, to me, the quarterbacks really have lost value. there's a clear top 11 and everyone else is like really lost value.
Yeah. Don't touch your wide receivers. Your running backs can be messed with a little bit because they're running back, especially if you're looking for next year. Trade those guys now. Not Brees necessarily, but the other guys can be used for packaging, like Tyler said.
Yeah.
Oh,
Addison, you did such a great job here.
Francois. Thank you.
A Bears fan. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No. They're 2-1.
2-1. 2-1. Yeah, no problem. We always try to get to the super chats. Well, we always get to the super chats. We always try to get to everyone else, but that's not gonna happen today. I can already tell.
Would you cash in on Madison for Jeff Wilson? Don't have Dalvin, but he does have Elijah Mitchell. Singletary's his RB2.
I would not do that.
I was gonna say I'd rather have Alexander Madison.
Yeah, especially with Cook already starting to get injured.
Yep. Madison has a higher ceiling than Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
When they both play.
I agree.
Thomas, good evening, boys. Productive struggle team. Addison's advice.
Oh.
Well, nice. I'm offloading current point players for future points. Amari Cooper and Sky Moore for Cortland Sutton and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Well, I don't see that as that's actually going to help you score more points, not less.
I was gonna say if you're looking for future points, you want Sky Moore.
I still want the Sutton side of this trade,
though. Ooh. I think you do because then you can trade Sutton for something better.
I agree.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, and instead of this, you could do this, but I also am fine with just keeping Sky Moore, who's really a hold for me, and just offloading Amari Cooper after the big game.
I'm good with that too.
He's had like
2 big games in a row. He's strung together 2 in a row that should make people interested.
I don't really believe in Amari Cooper.
I think you could turn Amari into Elijah Moore if somebody really does not like what Elijah Moore.
That would be great. I would love to do that.
Do that. Matt, 10 team start 9 non-tight end premium 2 quarterback 623 first 324 first.
That's insane.
Holy crap! Trade DK and 2 firsts for Chase and a 23 second.
It's an overpay. Just feels like it's too much. To add 2 firsts to DK to get
and
Chase,
they're 10 team. Overpay. They're 10 team super flex.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
I get what you're trying to do. Lop off a first and take off the second from Chase. Try that.
I hear you, but I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The taco in my league?
Yeah.
Is that an adjective that I'm
Taco usually describes like the not good manager.
Oh no. But tacos are so good.
Yeah.
Pitts and a 24 first for Javonte and CD.
I'll
take Javonte and CD.
Javonte and CD.
Thoughts on Zay Jones?
He's fine.
If you can still buy him for a third, I would do that if you need a wide receiver.
I guess, sure.
5 for 5, Damian Pierce, truther. Cook never made sense. Oh, that was for the...
That's hindsight, though.
I'm a contender and I want a wide receiver. What types of trades should I look for?
Can you be any more vague? I mean, I don't know, man.
Go for... oh, man. Go for the rookies.
Send a second for Mike Evans.
Go get Zay Jones, I guess.
Send a second for Mike Evans because people forgot he was good after he was suspended. How about that?
That works too. I like that one. Any possible trades? 10 team, 2 flex.
Too vague. You're basically just when you ask me this question, you're just asking which players on your team do I not like. That's the question you're actually asking. So I'm going to tell you to put Mixon, Cup on the block, maybe Pierce as well if people are a little obsessed with them. Zeke out for the big game. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But that's just realize that's what you're asking when you ask me this question. You're asking which players do I not like in Dynasty at their current value.
Oh, here we go. So contender Allen Robinson for Romeo Doubs.
Oh man, I have Allen Robinson ranked higher in Dynasty, but it doesn't feel right. But
I'm taking Dobbs. That was in my video this morning. Actually, I said I would take Dobbs over Allen Robinson.
Guess so.
Speaking of A-Rob, thoughts. If you were to move him, what would you be happy getting back?
Luckily, I have no I've had no Allen Robinson to move because I told people that this was a disaster waiting to happen. And I told people that literally in order to invest in Allen Robinson, you had to believe that he did not try in 2021. That's what you had to believe. That's what you were. That was the good scenario. That was the good one. That was the good possibility. That's what you were investing in. How does Kenny Golladay look? How does didn't try look? You had to invest. If you wanted to believe that's what you believed in, that he didn't try, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't such a good plan. Maybe.
Romeo Dobbs.
I guess
Dobbs,
so. I don't really believe in Romeo Dobbs either.
Any second, dude. Would I be better off to start Geno Smith or trade for Drew Bledsoe?
It's crazy. I actually have Geno Smith at quarterback 16 this week and Russell Wilson at quarterback 19.
Yikes.
I am putting Geno Smith in.
Looking to trade to get Kelsey from a rebuilding team. What's a reasonable value to offer? Kenneth Walker plus?
Worth Kenneth Walker plus.
I was gonna say I had like Kenneth Walker in a second. If you're really going for it, I would.
If you're desperate, I'm fine with it. But
if you're adding anything substantially more than a second to Kenneth Walker, then it's not worth it.
Agreed.
Why isn't Ertz considered part of the Waller, Kittle, Goddard tier of tight ends? Used to be part of the big threes and hasn't stopped producing.
Because he totally stopped producing until he was traded to Arizona. That's why.
That is true, and also because
he didn't produce for years. He didn't produce really 2020 much or 2021 until he was traded. That's why.
We're talking also in Dynasty too. So if this is a redraft take, then it's a little bit easier.
Zach Ertz was nothing, and then he essentially has played almost nothing with DeAndre Hopkins healthy. He's played almost none of his games in Arizona with DeAndre Hopkins healthy, and some of them without DeAndre Hopkins there. But yeah, he's been. I mean, Zach Ertz in his last
seasons with Philly.
Yeah, I mean, in 2019, Zach Ertz was horrible. He averaged 3.3 receptions and 30 yards a game. And then in 2021, he was almost exactly the same. So he was dead in the water and then went to Arizona and then he was revived.
That's why.
So there's your answer.
Should I trade Schultz and Kamara for Diggs? Redraft. He has Higbee as his tight end.
I'm going to have to do that. Yeah, I'm going to take Diggs.
Yep, I'll take Diggs. Love it. He said that his wide receivers are Adams, DJ Moore, and A-Rob. Yeah, that's just easy for Diggs. What's up, guys? Thoughts on Allen Robinson? Think I'm ready to drop him for Zay Jones, Matt Collins, or Romeo Dobbs?
I'd really rather. I mean, I hate Allen Robinson, but
I'm assuming though this is redraft.
Yeah, I'd still keep him. I guess.
If it's Dynasty, you can't drop him.
Allen Robinson's so frustrating. I didn't hate him as like wide receiver 35, but people that seemed reasonable, but people had him in 20. I still wouldn't drop wide receiver 35.
Yeah.
That's what I think he is. Wide receiver 35, 40.
I'd probably drop in redraft because he doesn't have the upside.
Neither do any of these guys.
I think Dobbs does.
I don't think so. I think it's 1 week is going to be one guy. 1 week is going to be another guy.
Every week is going to be Dobbs.
No, I really don't think so.
You got Kamara by trading James Robinson straight up. Love it.
Good job.
Awesome. Yeah, we said Diggs.
Diggs, yeah.
I'm in a league. I have Lamar. Got offered 25 first and Amon-Ra for 25 first and Amon-Ra for a 24 first in Jalen Hurts.
Well,
is this supposed to be one? Is that?
There's probably one QB.
I was wondering if
there's one QB, it's Amon-Ra easily.
I have Gabe Higgins and Deontay.
Yeah, if it's one QB, it's Amon-Ra easily.
Yep.
If it's super flex, it's Jalen Hurts easily. So.
Yeah. Really, Truther said, just turn back in and get some sleep. I'm about to.
I mean, this is still an hour shorter than my show yesterday.
I'm going to get some sleep. Nick said he got 3 wow emojis on Sleeper for it. First
Yeah.
trade that went down, didn't even think I'd get accepted. I love it for you, bro. And with that, that is how we'll call it.
I know.
Cal will be back next week. So
Don't
then
forget
I
my
don't have to
start.
talk as
Don't
much.
forget my start sit show
On Sunday. What time? It's at 11:30.
11:30. Yeah, I put the link at the bottom of the
Eastern
chat.
time.
There you go. 11:30 Eastern.
Eastern
Yeah.
time.
There's your link to the start sit show.
Cool. We'll see you
Addison
guys.
needs a nap.
I am so tired, dude. We'll
know.
talk to y'all later.
Cheers.